Give your meat a good old rub. That's it. Nice and hot. Hot, spicy meat. Yeah, boy.
All right, guys, we are back with our third Flash tournament. So today we're going to have Shetland Apache, Romulan Dog, Aerocrastic, and Tlaxlan Soothsayer. So could potentially be a rematch from the second ever chosen where we had Romulan Dog and Soothsayer here in the finals. And yes, we do actually have a bit of an overlay now. So you can see we actually have scoreboards up at the top. We have like a fancy ring here in the corner. So yeah, guys, we're living the good life. We're coming up in the world. But yes, this is going to be our first match of the day. I'm using new streaming software. It's Streamlabs OBS, so I'm hoping that it's picking up fine and everything. Audio is good, but we'll find out if it's not. So, without further ado, let's go see what the guys are up to. We got Shetland Apache in game one, who's going to be taking on Romulan Dog. If I'm not mistaken, I think they actually fought like right before the finals in the second ever chosen, and there was like Iron Drakes. There was just all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So yeah, it's time. Thank you guys for joining today. And again, the format for the Flash tournaments, it's 2 best of 3s with the best of 5 finals. So you'll have your 2 best of 3s. The winners of those will go play in the finals. And also the winner of today's tournament is going to be getting 25% of on-stream donations. So last week, the Gabo King, unfortunately, he couldn't make it today, but he said he'll be here for future weeks. He won quite a bit. He got 25% of the donation. So it was like, it was like over $100. It was pretty substantial. I know, it looks pretty good, right? I think the scoreboard looks nice. So we're coming up in the world. So yeah, go ahead, guys. Start when ready. Yes. So we're going to have Shetland versus Romulan Dog. So it looks like Shetland's going to be going with Wood Elves here in game one. Romulan Dog's going to be switching, but we have to put our screen blocker up so they can't stream snipe each other. So Steven Seagal is going to make an appearance. There he is. He can sit there and eat a carrot and also inform you guys about the basics of this event here today. So yeah, and this is going to be a weekly series every Sunday. Every Sunday. We're going hard in the paint. It's going to be fun. Yeah, so people are joining. Lady Turin coming in with the Discord link, which is good. Beastmen versus Wood Elves. This is a OG matchup going back to the first DLC. So I don't know if there's a particular favorite here. The Wood Elves or the Beastmen are one of those factions that are just exceptional at hunting you down. Their infantry are very fast. Centaurs are pretty fast and cost efficient. Granted, Wild Riders can dumpster Centaurs. And the Sisters of Thorn, of course, give you some really good kiting and utility. They can beat most of the skirmishers from the Beastmen. So I wonder if the Beastmen are just going to go super wide, use a ton of Centaurs, use a ton of like Goreherds with shields, and just try and endure. How are they going to stop the Wood Elf Cav onslaught? Because it's really tough to stop just mass amounts of Wild Riders and Sisters of Thorn and stuff. So eat your veggies, Steven Seagal. Eat them. I know. Yeah, this is going to be a good one, though. First match of the day. Oh, yeah. And we got our overlay. The link to the rules. Hey, what's going on, Shadow Online Gaming? Yeah, I'll get you guys the rules next time there's like an intermission or something. Yeah, you like I figured I had to incorporate some ridiculous stuff in here, Pun. Yes. But yeah, as far as the rules, we're using the King's Cup rules. So the actual one of the authors here today, Shetland Apache, is one of the gentlemen who put most of those together. So they're good rules. It limits a lot of the cheesier tactics that you could potentially see in ladder, and it makes for a really good format, honestly. We've been using these rules in the Ever Chosen tournament. We use them, yeah, in both of the Ever Chosen you guys saw. We used these rule sets. So they're tried and true. I mean, and what we've done in the Ever Chosen, yeah, like we may have had like quite a few people watching, but it pales in comparison to the amount of tournaments that Shetland has put on. He's put on so many tournaments, so these rules really are tried and true. I don't know what this matchup favors. I mean, the Wood Elves are one of those factions that are very much like the Zerg in StarCraft 2 in that they have a very high skill ceiling. Like if you're a really like high level player with really, really solid micro, the Wood Elves can be like just a terror in the night. Whereas I guess the Beastmen are somewhat similar because they're really mobile and glass cannon. You know, they have many glass cannon characteristics, so it kind of goes both ways. So perhaps you will, Crystal Gamer. You'll have to ask her. She's more than welcome to anytime she wants to here on the channel. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, Romulan Dog in the last Ever Chosen actually took second place. He came away doing pretty damn good. He went down 3-1 to Soothsayer in the finals, but all of those games are really close. So you guys are in for essentially a repeat of last week's or not last week's, but the last Ever Chosen. I mean, we could potentially see them in the finals. They're both favorites in their initial rounds. Granted, Shetland Apache did take a game off Romulan Dog last time, so he could easily cause an upset here. And of course, Aerocrastic is a very good player as well. So there certainly could be some upsets in the stream today. Yeah, ladder would be great if ladder rules could have blind pick, because that's what we're doing today. So all of the players in today's tournament, they have to send me their races before the match. So I have them all in front of me right now, and I just have to make sure they play them. They can't like dance around each other. It forces them into certain matchups, and I think it's really fun to see, for sure. I wish you guys could see Shetland's army right now. It's pretty cool for sure. He's got some. It's going to be micro intensive, absolutely. It's going to be really micro intensive. So I'm eager to see how he does. Romulan Dog definitely no stranger to high stakes games. Are Treekin good in this matchup? You know, if you came out as like the Wood Elves and brought like Durthu, a tree man, and like Treekin, and like you could probably surprise your opponent. Like the Beastmen might be like caught off guard because they're so used to like having to deal with kiting and missiles. You could probably pull a game off a really high level player like that. Oh yeah, Wood Elf archers are amazing. Yeah, they're some of the best in the game. Deepwood Scouts like mow things down, and I'm not good at Wood Elves, I must admit. Like Wood Elves are probably one of my worst races. So don't take everything I say with a grain of salt, but Shetland have certainly played them quite a bit. There probably will be some Skaven love today, because Aerocrastic, who's playing in our next game versus Soothsayer, he's like a Skaven main. Like he played in last week's tournament, and I think he brought Skaven twice in the initials and then in the finals. So there will definitely most likely be some Skaven love. Yes. We're not sure if Mel Gibson's going to be picked. I don't want to spoil it. In case Romulan Dog is listening, I know he's a good guy, so he probably wouldn't do that. But just to kind of be safe here. So Steven Seagal can leave now. Oh no, you guys see the army at the last second. Yes, the weekly Flash tournament is here. We got 4 top level players. All the Dark Lords of Total War are arising. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the Gobbo King, but yeah, he had some stuff going on today. He was pretty wiped out. So. And he ran his tournament yesterday, so he probably needs a bit of a break anyways, you know. And we want to see him healthy and fresh, ready to rise from the ashes. I really enjoy playing Skaven. I'm not the best at them. My best factions are Norska, Chaos, and Beastmen, I would say. Norska, Chaos, Beastmen, Vampire counts. Yeah, those are probably my best factions. I'm very good. I have a mastery over the factions that are a little bit more aggressive. I don't like playing too much missile play, but I prefer just to kind of swarm my enemy. So we're in, guys. It is game time. We're going to be taking a look at the Wood Elf army. So for the Wood Elves, let me make sure I got my screen blocker down so I'm not just like memeing here. Okay, we're good. For the Wood Elves, it looks like there's going to be 3 groups of Wild Riders, actually 2, and then one of them is going to be Sisters of Thorn, they're such a good unit. Sisters of Thorn, one of those really high micro units, and he keeps moving it as I'm like trying to describe it. The Sisters basically can cast Shield of Thorns and the Curse. They have really good skirmishing potential with poison, so good at kiting harpies and centaurs and things like that, and they're beasts in melee. I mean, their combat stats aren't insane, but they have really high physical resist. I think it's like close to 50%. He's got 2 Deepwood Scouts with the Swift Shiver Shard, so these guys fire twice, basically at the cost of range. So they do really well against like low-tier Beastmen troops. Although it looks like there's going to be a Mass Vanguard. All right, so Gorherds with shields. They're going to be really good against these. Oh man, look how close they're going to be starting. He does have Sisters and Wild Riders here, some Eternal Guard to kind of absorb this charge, but yeah, and a Forest Dragon as well. So the Forest Dragon there's not too much the Beastmen have against that. So he's basically just going to have to, you know, kill everything on the ground for the Wood Elves, most likely. And for Romulan Dog and the Beastmen, wow. You guys, it's an entire front line of Ungors and Goreherds. So these guys, this is going to be a ton of pressure. And they all have Vanguard, they have Shield, so they're going to be really durable. Goreherds actually do really well versus Eternal Guard. They kind of spank him a little bit. He's got Centaurs here and a massive horde of Centaurs, including the Sons of Goros, and Khazrak One-Eye on a chariot. So just memeing so hard. In the back, he does also have a Bray Shaman with the Lord of Shadows, but Romulan Dog coming in with a mass Vanguard strategy, guys. This is going to be bananas, so yeah, he's got 2 Harpies in the back. Harpies are pretty good. He could tie up the Forest Dragon, or he could just chase down the Deepwood Scouts, or use them to rear charge Sisters and Wild Riders. Harpies actually have really high weapon strength at 44, so they can actually do some okay damage against lightly armored Wild Riders and things like that. So absolute insanity coming out here for the first game for Romulan Dog. Khazrak, a little bit out of position, but you know, the Dragon can definitely dumpster Khazrak, but man, this is such an aggressive... I wish the Beastmen were vanguarding like right here, right on top of the archers. That would be so funny. Oh my goodness. So yeah, they're good to go. We're starting. Yeah, this is a blind date gone wrong. That is a great analogy for this. Oh man. Yeah, we're going to be trying to... I was trying to recruit some folks today who hadn't been in the series yet, but you know, I always like do it last minute, unfortunately, just because my life's a little bit wild. So yeah, I gotta get plan ahead so I can get some people in here. But yeah, anyways, we got some really solid players in today. So Goreherds, Ungors in the front line, so a combination of low tier and high tier troops. Well, quote unquote high tier. Goreherds are pretty strong. If you look at their combat stats, 26, 35 melee defense, 30 weapon strength. Can definitely put a bit of a dent in these Eternal Guard. But this is a very aggressive Beastman army. So yeah, it looks like they're about to start here. And things are going to get pretty damn wild right out of the gates. And let me know if the scoreboard up top is fine. Hopefully it's not. I think it might be blocking the bounce of power, but that's actually, you know, not a huge deal. I could potentially edit it for next week if that's really annoying. So let me know. Let me know if the bounce of power being blocked is a big deal. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I think this matchup, based on what I've seen here, I mean, but look at this deployment here from Shetland Apache. He's deployed like around the side of the map, so he has a really good concave just to collapse down. And the Centaurs are a little bit out of position. They're kind of on the far side, and Centaurs do lose pretty heavily to Wild Riders. As far as Lore of Magic, he does have a Branch Wraith or a Spellsinger with Lore of Shadows, and it looks like Enfeebling Foe as well as Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma. And yeah, go for it. Yeah, they were just checking with me to see if they're good to go. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Romulan Dog was able to take a game off Thraxlan last in the Everchosen, so he's certainly very capable of it. All right, the game is underway. The Beastmen hordes are revealed to the Wood Elves. They did deploy a little bit offset. He moved his Deepwood Scouts over here, probably suspecting some shenanigans here, so the Beastmen herd is going to have to advance real quick here. Looks like right out of the gates there's going to be a Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma going down here on the Centaurs, doing a little bit of damage and slowing them. Pretty good value. But yeah, it was a really good... He's very fortunate here that he did shift his whole formation. So unfortunately that Overcast actually did a ton of damage to the Spellsinger there. It's a little bit unfortunate messing with the Winds of Magic. But these Centaurs are going to be rotating around. There's probably going to be a pretty cataclysmic fight over here on the far side. You can see the Wild Riders are swooping through the forest. They do have Sisters of Thorn supporting them, but that is a ton of Beastmen. I don't know. I really don't know what could have happened. I think the Beastmen just have the numbers here, especially with the Harpy support. The Swift Shiver Shards are going to be scooting forward, probably trying to take out these Harpies right here, and the rest of the Beastmen herds are just going to be moving up. So this is going to be a lot to handle. The Dragon does have some freebies. He could potentially land in here and do some damage. Let me go turn it down real quick. But it looks like he's trying to pick a fight over here. So the Wild Riders are actually running from this engagement. Another group of Wild Riders is coming in. Sisters providing some overwatch from the flank, picking off a couple of those guys. And the Curse of Anrar goes down, which does slow them. But it looks like the Dragon is coming in here. The Harpies are actually going to be swarming the Dragon, which isn't a terrible idea. They can keep it occupied for quite some time, keep it from having breath attacks easily. Definitely very annoying to deal with. So the Harpies are swarming the Dragon here in the sky. The Swift Shiver Shards are shooting into Ungor herds, but really that's not going to do a whole lot. You probably should rotate those over here and deal with the Centaur. So here's going to be the main fight. But it looks like, oh no, Shetland Apache is going to be trying to retreat, and you cannot, it's so hard to retreat from Beastmen, especially with the Chaos Warhounds, with Poison locking those guys down. Honestly, he should probably just commit to this fight and try and do as much damage as he can. I think he needs to get in there, and he's realizing this now, and he's going to be countercharging with the Wild Riders. So they swoop in here, doing quite a bit of damage on the charge. Definitely a superior unit to the Centaur, but the Centaurs just have the numbers. They also have old Khazrak One-Eye in here, who does have some AoE buff abilities, if I'm not mistaken. But over here, the Sisters of Thorn doing some decent work. The Deepwood Scouts are being forced back by Goreherds and Ungors, which is a really, really bad situation. That is not good. They're wasting ammo on extremely inefficient targets. And you can also see the Harpies are going to be chasing the Glade Lord. Enfeebling Foe cast, making the melee defense absolutely pitiful on this guy, putting him down to 13. So the Harpy's doing a lot of work, and it looks like he's going to be landing. So he's like, screw this, I'm tired of being chased by the Harpies. I'm going to land, try and terror out the Sons of Garros. But the Harpies are going to follow, Sons of Goros. But over here, it looks like the Wild Riders are just being swarmed. Some decent fights going on, but I think the Wood Elves are kind of just being dragged down by the hordes of beastmen. Right here, you can see the Spellslinger with the Lure of Life is being surrounded by the Poison Warhounds, which is not good. The Wild Riders will charge in there and get a good counter charge. They'll definitely run over those hounds, probably break them off, and they should be able to take out these beastmen forces. But this is the really important part of the battle right here. I mean, the infantry fight is, yeah, it's definitely going to favor the beastmen, just sheer numbers. I mean, for every, Eternal Guard, there's 2 Gore Herds and Ungore Herds. Although the Swift Shiver Shards are able to kite out the Gore Herds and pick them apart, which is fine, but that's a lot of money. Those guys are like 800 a pop. He really needs them in this part of the battlefield. So right here, the Glade Lord is just being punished by the hordes of beastmen. There's support from some of the Wood Elf forces, like these Wild Riders and some of the Sisters of Thorn. And the Spellslinger with Lord of Shadows, probably really wishing he had an Earthblood now, but I think he should have really committed to that engagement earlier. When all of his Wild Riders and Sisters were in very good health, I think he should have gone in there with his Dragon, brought the Swift Shiver Shards around in that direction. He probably could have won that engagement versus the Centaurs, but Romulan Dog was just very aggressive. He was able to overtake that flank and just do some amazing work. So right there you can see the Spellslinger with the Lure of Life, as well as the Glade Lord is being dragged down by Khazrak One-Eye. And that's going to be game 1 for Romulan Dog there, with a very, very aggressive Beastman army. A mass vanguard in the front line. Khazrak One-Eye, who I personally think is one of the worst lords in the game, but he made that work for sure. He made that work. That was pretty impressive. So let's go ahead here and update the scoreboard. And Romulan is on the blue side. So let's go ahead and get that going there, and we're good. All right. So, as far as the battle goes, I did like Shetland's army. I think Wild Riders are a very good answer against like Beastmen Swarms. They trade very efficiently with Centaurs, but Centaurs can give it right back as well. And, he had like 3 Wild Riders fighting against like, 5 Centaurs plus Warhounds, 3 Warhounds plus Harpies. He was massively overwhelmed on that flank, and it was very evident, very good use of shadow magic. So what he did is, normally Harpies wouldn't put much of a dent in a dragon, but he used Enfeebling Foe from the Lore of Shadows to weaken the dragon. Then the dragon was being like chipped apart by Harpies, which was extremely cost effective. So that was a really good battle. I mean, it was fun. Mass Vanguard Beastmen, very effective against the Wood Elves. Didn't give them much breathing room. They weren't able to kite too much, and that was it. So the bounce power is unfortunately hidden under the scoreboard, something I'm realizing today, but we can change that up next time. They're just like, oh yeah. All right, start when ready. No rush, boys. No rush. Yeah, so in the game 2, we're going to be on the Altorf outskirts, and we're going to have a showdown between Bretonnia and the Warriors of Chaos. Let me go ahead and get the scoreboard blocker up here, and we got to summon Steven Seagal from the shadows. Yes, good. You don't really need the bounce of power anyways. I'll keep you guys updated. Don't worry. Nani? Omae wa shinderu. Romulan's army was so awesome. It was just so fast and aggressive. But yeah, I'm excited to see Bretonnia. Bretonnia has had a really good track record in like all of our tournaments. Those guys have been the terrors of the night. And again, remember the winner of today's tournament is going to be getting 25% of on-stream donations. So anything you guys throw my way, 25% of it will go to the guys who are playing. So the winner, that is. So yeah, okay, screen blocker's up. We got Sean coming in with a fat $10 donation. He says, hey man, been watching your channel for a long time. Love to see all the tournaments. You give us hope wanting to make something out of streaming. Thank you, man. Hey, I really appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed the channel and the tournaments. I know there was a long lapse, man, where I wasn't doing a lot of tournament play, and I felt like there was something missing from the channel. So,
nice and hot.
Yeah, we're back, man. We're back. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And 25% of your donation will go to the first place winner today. So far we're up to $12 in there. Getting big. I actually speak a little bit of Japanese too, which is funny. I don't even like anime, but at my high school they had us it was either like Spanish or Japanese, and I was like, oh, Japanese seems interesting. Yeah, so I can speak a little bit. The initial rounds are best of 3s, and the finals are best of 5. Yeah. Hey, Dutch Bias. Yeah, man, let's talk. Let's talk, dude. We'll talk probably I have to leave after this. I actually got to run, but we'll talk in the next couple days about it. That would be outstanding. It's hard for me to play in tournaments. My wrist problem has gotten a lot worse. I've been having trouble playing quick battles. Like, I can do like 2 or 3 a day, but it gets really painful afterwards. So I'm like, I don't have to like click here, so it's not as bad for me. But I'm still trying to play enough games to get like daily videos for you guys, but playing in tournaments is really taxing. Plus, I can't really play at my 100%, which is really frustrating when you're playing against good players. Knowing that I could be like clicking more, but the fact that it hurts and I'm not clicking, it's really frustrating. But I just had MRIs done on Friday, and I'm going to have them read tomorrow. So the doctor actually suspects that, yes, I might have tendinosis in my hand. Well, I do. But he thinks that it might be partially because I have a torn labrum that never got fixed, and it just healed wrong. So we're going to check that out. Could potentially be good. It is destiny that I found this YouTube channel while in Japan. Yes, it is. It is destiny. Yeah, absolutely. Skinwolves, yeah, Skinwolves aren't that great. They just kind of get run over by Bretonnian Knights, like Grail Knights. I mean, pretty much any Bretonnian Knight will flatten a group of Skinwolves, except for Knight Errants, obviously. Fimir are just so much better with Grey Opens. What you do to beat the Bretonnians as the Norskins is you just bring Fimir with Grey Opens, stack them on top of Berserkers, and then get sent Marauders with Throwing Axes, the Marauder Horsemen. You just kite the heavy cav, drag them down. Whenever they charge, you countercharge with Fimir. It's really tough for them to break, so... Yeah, I actually asked Indie Pride to join today's tournament, but it was a little bit short notice for him because we originally had Gobbo King as our fourth, but he dropped out. He couldn't. He had other stuff going on. He was tired and had some work stuff, real life stuff. So I asked Indie Pride, but it was a little bit short notice. He's working on a video, but we're gonna try and get him in next week's tournament and stuff like that. So yeah, I the last tournament I did play in was in Shadow Online Gaming's tournament. You guys can go watch that on his channel. He's here in chat. And I won that tournament. Thank you very much. Played John Ton of Total Brohammer in the finals. It was a great game. Yeah. So that's that, guys. It's time. We got Lady Turin here in chat. If you guys haven't seen her channel, she's got a badass... She actually just did a video on urban legends from... she's going to be doing urban legends from different states, horror and all kinds of stuff. It's really cool. It's called That Evil Hag. She's here in chat, so she can link it. It's badass. All right. Yes, I'm going to be doing more Magic the Gathering Arena. I actually just recorded one last night. Let me get rid of Steven Seagal so his girth doesn't block the game here. Yes. Just his bulk. So this one's going to be on the Altdorf Outskirts, which I think is one of the best multiplayer maps out there. It has a great combination of terrain, line of sight blockers, it has forest deployment zones. It's really, really fun. So for the Forces of Chaos, who's going to be piloted by the one and only Romulan Dog. And hey, thanks for the donation, man. For the 10 euros. Thank you so much, Socrates. Yeah, I always say that wrong, Socrates. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. If there's anything you'd like to see, just let me know. So as far as Romulan's army goes, definitely very solid. The best way to beat Bretonnia is the double Shaggoth plus a Deathcaster. So he has Kolek Sun Eater. Kolek is just a monster. The Bretonnian Cav really have a hard time dragging him down. I mean, Bretonnia missiles don't have good armor piercing, so they don't have a ton of good answers against Kolek other than surrounding him and just gooning him, which can take a while. I mean, Men-at-Arms with Polearms trade okay. Kolek plus a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. For the rest of his army, a couple groups of Chaos Warhounds. These guys are probably just there to chase down peasants, go after artillery crews. The rest of his army, he has a couple great weapons, which is pretty good against Foot Squires. He actually has Aspiring Champions, which are really fun to watch. He's got two groups of Halberds, which I foresee him using on the flank. So when the Cav try and charge in, he's going to have these bad boys just waiting for the Bretonnian Cav. And you can see, yes, he does have one in the middle for center charges, two on the outsides for flank charges. And he has this Soul of Damnation. So Romulan Dog going with the artillery build here. Soul of Damnation does a ton of work. So this is kind of cool. He's going to force a Bretonnian player in and just kind of sit with his halberds and countercharge with Kolek. Not really going to try and contest the Cav game with Bretonnia, which I think is definitely smart. This is the way to do it. He does also have Chaos Warhounds here, Aspiring Champions, a Deathcaster with Spirit Leech, and the Purple Sun. So no Fate of Una, which is typically very good. Purple Sun can also be very powerful if used correctly. And the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth looks like there's going to be a Vanguard over here of some Chaos Warhounds. And over here for Shetland Apache. So Shetland Apache has a front line of Men-at-Arms with Polearms. They actually trade surprisingly well with Chaos Warriors. They do have really good armor piercing values, high melee defense in the 40s. And against, Kolek and big scary Dragon Ogres and Shaggoths and things like that, it's pretty hog wild. So looking forward to seeing them in action. For his Knights, he does have Grail Guardians, two groups of Grail Guardians. So these guys are kind of like the tanky, sustained combat, anti-infantry variant. So Men-at-Arms and Polearms stacked up. These guys are going to be cycle charging, getting some good value, hopefully. Fey Enchantress is going to be helping as well. So he has Fey Enchantress. He has two Life Casters. He has a Damsel with the Lore of Life as well. So he has, I've never seen that before. So he has a Damsel with Earthblood and Regrowth, and then he also has the Fey Enchantress with Earthblood and Regrowth, which is pretty hog wild. He does have a Field Trebuchet as well, which is going to be providing some AP Overwatch Fire. And in the back, he has mounted Yeoman Archers. So he has three groups of mounted Yeomen. And they're not bad at kiting out and skirmishing and poking down Forsaken and Marauders and things like that. Some Peasant Archers as well. Looks like he has a couple groups of those bad boys. So 1, 2, and that's it. So a mixed forces Bretonnian army. I do like the Halberds in the front line with the Grail Reliquae. Those guys are going to just fight till the bitter end, which is going to be pretty cool. So, and both games we've seen with these guys, they both deploy on the opposite sides of each other. Yeah, Fate of Una is really good against Grail Knights and pretty much Grail Guardians and everything on the Bretonnian roster. It's just absolute insanity. Oh, hell yeah. Just ordered a pizza. Well, guess. Settle down, get your pizza. It's time, boys. Pretty hog wild? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. It's okay. Romulan. We're just doing a rules question because there's rules against like bringing like 2 casters with the same ability. So, and Shetland accidentally broke that rule. So we're just gonna see. Yeah, I mean it's really not a big deal with these spells. It's not something that can be abused. So we're gonna go with it. Like that's kind of how we roll. If we need to make a judgment call on the spot, we're just gonna be like it's not a big deal. So. Anyways, the Bretonnian forces taking up refuge here in the forest. There is that vanguard from the Warriors of Chaos over here with the Chaos Warhounds. And Chaos does have the Soul of Damnation. So Soul of Damnation, probably going to be a little bit more cost-effective trading than the Trebuchet. I don't know. I wonder if the Chaos forces are going to advance. I mean, he could advance and leave some halberds back here to defend this, but that's a little bit risky considering how much he did invest in the Soul of Damnation. You can see over here that the skirmisher forces of Shetland Apache are going to be advancing outward. These mounted yeoman archers definitely ready to cause some problems. I mean, they could just poke Kolek, just dump all their ammunition into him. It'd probably get him to like 60% if he just takes it all. Because the Chaos Forces have a couple groups of hounds. They have some Chaos Warhounds here and some in the forest. So this is good. So what Romulan Dog is doing here is he's moving up these Warhounds so then he could take an angle of pursuit and pin these mounted yeomen down. So Kolek going to be champing these arrows. I mean, hey, every piece of damage you can get against Kolek is good, right? Like this guy is just the destroyer of worlds. One of the most powerful lords in the game, like hands down in terms of like dueling and just fighting. Over here, it looks like the hounds have been discovered by the Knights of Bretonnia, so they're sweeping through the forest. And what's probably going to happen to these poor doggos here, just look at these little guys, just look at them run, is you can see that Shetland Apache is not going to let those guys get away. He's trying to charge them. Romulan Dog desperately trying to microwave, but if he does break those hounds, they're probably not going to come back. They're taking archer fire, but man, Romulan Dog, with the moves like Jagger, he's able to outmaneuver those guys and actually get those hounds out of that forest. Shetland definitely should have like put one here and one here to pin it down, but man, getting those hounds out, definitely a very, very smooth micro there with the jukes he's got. So the Warriors of Chaos are going to be scooting up the Soul of Damnation. I wonder if he's going to manually fire it. I feel like he could, but it looks like the hounds actually do get caught. Some of the mounted yeomen are able to pin them down and catch them. So unfortunately, the hounds, despite a very nice juke initially, are going to be broken off. Shetland Apache should probably just chase those guys and make sure they stay off the battlefield. Soul of Damnation, providing some overwatch fire with its first shot. It accidentally tears up some of those hounds right there. It's a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. So here comes the Soul of Damnation shooting in again. It looks like it's going after the Bretonnian Knights, and here comes the first shot. And it does clip the Knights, only kills one model of the Grail Guardians. Yeah, those are the Grail Guardians, and it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, so not a big deal. But in the back, another group of Chaos Poison Warhounds breaks the Trebuchet crew. Absolutely disastrous for Shetland Apache. Losing that early is just so unfortunate. And also those hounds are putting quite a dent in the mounted yeoman as well. So I didn't see that in the back, but beautiful stuff here from Romulan Dog. He definitely needs to get that Trebuchet crew back because now the Soul of Damnation can just sit. There's no retort. So he can just kind of sit here and just take pot shots, and that's going to force the Bretonnians into his halberd play. So you can see he's just going to be chasing these hounds off. He's probably just like, goddamn dogs. He's going to definitely shatter those guys. So they're shattered now. The Bretonnians have relative freedom on the field. But the Soul of Damnation, here comes another shot, and I think he's manually aiming it now. So here it comes, slamming into the Bretonnian Knights, just barely missing there. So not much value either from the Soul of Damnation, but the hounds have done some good work. Granted, those hounds are offline, so that's about 400 gold gone. The other ones are gone, so 800 gold gone for Romulan Dog. That would be a really cool thing to have in this game, like the amount of gold that you've killed from your opponent's army, just like in StarCraft, how they have that in the esports. It's a really good metric, I think. So, yeah, in Bretonnia, the Trebuchet crew might come back. I see them lurking over here. They're actually making their way back over, so he still has the Trebuchet essentially at full power. I think he has enough crews to like still do work. The Soul of Damnation still firing some pot shots here. The mounted yeomen are just going to juke those shots, so the Soul should definitely be shooting at probably just the Bretonnian Knights here and just hoping to get like a square hit that could kill like 10, 15 models. The rest of the Bretonnian army is making its way through the forest. They're probably going to collapse downward at this angle and just try and like overload this flank. Kolek is going to be kind of prodding out here. I know the poor doggos, they really got the business. But if we take a look at the battlefield right here, you can see the Bretonnian forces in the forest here, and I'll take this moment of calm and repose here to have a sip of coffee. Made by the great Lady Turin. She makes some amazing coffee. Riff Chaos Pugs. Here comes the Soul of Damnation shooting in. Oh, but a huge blob right here. Oh, that's brutal. The peasant's just getting absolutely smashed by that. It takes out about, a combined total of like 15, 20 models. So the Bretonnians are like, you know what? I don't feel like being obliterated by any warp stones. So we're going to kind of just pull back a little bit. We're going to take it easy. But the mounted yeoman coming up here, it looks like a Spirit Leech did go down on those mounted yeomen. Kolek screening those bad boys out. Other Dragon Ogre, however, only has 70 armor. And Farragon, thank you so much for the donation. Farragon77 with the $20 donation, which is going to raise the stakes for the prize pool. And it looks like the Mounted Yeomen are poking in on the Soul of Damnation. They might be able to kill it. The wrist is holding up okay. Good enough to stream today. So don't you worry, brother. And thank you so much for the donation. Over here, the Mounted Yeomen just circling around, but the Shaggoths are just kind of forcing them back, and I'm pretty sure that Shetland Apache has taken off fire at will. So he's saving the ammunition, really trying to burn down this Soul of Damnation right here. And the rest of the Bretonnian army just kind of lurking in the forest, just all the peasants with their pitchforks just waiting and ready to... These guys look so... Are their hoods like... Oh, they're like looking at the ground. That was like a weird graphic bug there. But the Mounted Yeomen doing some pretty good skirmishing here. Shetland Apache not wanting to let the second game go for free. And he did get his Blessed Trebuchet back online. So despite the fact that the Chaos Pugs were able to get onto the Field Trebuchet, he has got it back online. And it could start doing some pretty good work against the Chaos Warriors with Halberds here, honestly. And the Mounted Yeomen just trolling. Oh no, but the Shaggoth might be able to club one of these guys. And it looks like they just barely get away. But the Soul of Damnation, actually with a fairly direct hit here on the Field Trebuchet crew, it actually hits the crew, kills 3 of the crew members, and breaks the Trebuchet. So a very tactical match so far. Right here, it looks like another Spirit Leech going down. So Romulan Dog just doing everything he can to like try and take out these skirmishers, which will then give him the ranged advantage and force the Bretonnians in. Because according to our rules of play, if the Bretonnians like aren't attacking like with their archers or their artillery, they have to advance the rest of their army. So you can see the Soul of Damnation missing the Grail Guardian. So Shetland Apache with some really, really good Grail Guardian micro, making sure those bad boys don't get clipped and caught. So yeah, the shovels are certainly ready for the Bretonnian peasants as their army does advance out of the forest. And I always love seeing Bretonnian armies advance with like halberds and just like the Grail Reliquae anchored front and center. There are some aspiring champions here. They'll definitely do a pretty good job against Bretonnian infantry. Kolek is actually able to terrify those guys. So the Mounted Yeomen get terrified off by the Dragon Ogre, which is pretty wild here. So the Soul of Damnation has turned. Here comes another shot. And this might be manually aimed, and here it goes. And it looks like it's a swing and a miss going after the Peasant Bowman. So not getting a ton of value. I mean, I guess 44 kills isn't terrible. It still has about 60% of his ammo, firing another shot here. But the Mounted Yeoman coming in and shooting at the Soul of Damnation. Here it comes, right into the back of these Peasant Archers. It tags those guys, does a lot of HP damage, but actually doesn't take out too many models, except that guy. He got cut in half. He been half. Hey, Jay Ramirez, thank you for the donation. Still watching since day one. And yeah, we're using Streamlabs OBS, which is like, yeah, through Streamlabs. It's really cool. So over here, the Halberds are going to be scooting forward. The Soul of Damnation is kind of sitting and continuing to take pot shots, but this is a lot of Bretonnian infantry. Kolek's definitely going to struggle with the Halberds, but these Peasant Archers just getting massacred by the Soul of Damnation. They're taken down to half. They're pretty much done for. In the back, the Trebuchet crew has come back, so there's going to be some Overwatch coming in. Peasants pushing forward, and it looks like Kolek is going to be smashing some of these Peasants as well. They'll probably terror out in a matter of seconds. They are frightened by an enemy unit. I do not blame them. And it looks like the first line of Chaos is forming ranks to meet Bretonnia. And the other Dragon Ogre Shaggoth is coming in. So Balance of Power is pretty even at this point. No clear winner. Although the Soul of Damnation is actually almost dead. It's at half health. Really good play here from Shetland Apache using these Mounted Yeomen to potentially take out the Soul of Damnation. And here comes the Aspiring Champion. So these guys are like the perfect tool for just smashing peasants. They're just piling in there and they're just going to like have their splash attacks. They're just going to be cleaving these peasants. And now you can see the Chaos Warriors are going to be following up. So definitely some very, very cool play here, seeing some Aspiring Champions, Yeomen. But here come the Grail Knights of Bretonnia charging through the ranks, getting a little bit mucked up by the density of that Halberd formation. And you can see their Shetland Apache does decide to pull back and maybe is going to be attacking the flanks. But the Blessed Field Trebuchet really doing quite a number on the Chaos Warriors with Halberds. And yeah, the peasants are just kind of piling in. The Halberds are just standing and waiting. So he's trying to exhaust the Chaos forces. Here comes another Soul of Damnation shot. This is going to hurt. Oh man, just right in the middle of that peasant blob, just instantly shattering their leadership, just sending them running to the hills. I think it's time to get the Halberds in there. He needs to start doing some damage here because the Chaos are just kind of getting some free value off the peasants. But here comes the Halberds of Bretonnia against the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. That did not look like fun. Kolek is just such a destroyer. But the Halberds are probably the best answer. The Grail Reliquae will keep them from being terrified. So for anyone who's new to the game, you can see this Grail Reliquae right here. It gives all nearby troops immunity to psychology. Looks like a Spirit Leech going down in the Soul of Damnation with a fairly direct hit here on the Grail Guardians. Lord of the Storm coming down from Kolek, Heavy Metal plus Purple Sun. Oh man, the Purple Sun is probably going to pop in. If it goes towards those Knights, that's going to be disastrous. But thankfully for Shetland Apache, it kind of rotates the wrong way. Doesn't do a whole lot. Soul of Damnation looks like it's shooting in the back. But a Chalice of Potions also going down to the Chaos Warriors with Halberds. And some of the Mounted Yeomen in the back do go after the Soul of Damnation. Just a desperate charge. The other ones, though, sitting in the trees quite comfortably, and they almost have that Soul of Damnation down. But the front line for the Bretonnians is looking kind of disastrous. The Halberds are even being broken off. Just the sheer brute force of that Kolek assault. but a couple of them are holding. The Grail Reliquary is holding firm. The Grail Knights are a little bit beat up. Bounce of power slightly favoring the Warriors of Chaos at this point, for any of you guys who can't see the bounce power, but it is slightly favoring. It's pretty much dead center, maybe like a sliver in the favor of Chaos right now. Peasant Bowman getting some Overwatch fire, but really not doing a whole lot. But Kolek actually getting worked down a little bit. Scroll of Shielding going down. The Bretonnians have a pretty scary Death Star here, and the Fey Enchantress does have more Ascension effects. And in the back, look at this. The Soul of Damnation is taken out, so 2,000 gold instantly gone. The Mounted Yeoman are able to pick it off and sweep in, so that persistence from Shetland Apache really paying off here. And now he's going to be sweeping in the back with the Mounted Yeoman, probably going after some of the goodies here. But you know what? The Chaos Forces are having a lot of trouble dealing with this Halberd blob. Over here on the flanks, though, they are overwhelming. A lot of loose Bretonians who've kind of been separated from the pack. The Field Trebuchet crew still online, but it looks like it's out of ammunition, unfortunately, so it's really just coming down to this Death Star. Can this Bretonian Death Star... Yeah, and you can see Shetland Apache's pulling in all of his Knights right now. He's getting a last stand. He just needs to hold here and try and outgrind the forces of Chaos. But he needs to be careful with the Fey Enchantress and keep her, like, offset from the Shaggus, because if Kolek and Kolek Jr. here, his son, are able to just take the Fey Enchantress to Pound Town, that's just going to be game over instantly. He needs the Fey Enchantress, her Drain, her Mists of the Lady, to really lower the melee attack and make the Halberds that much more sustainable. Oh no, and it looks like a Purple Sun's coming down. This could be game right here. If this Purple Sun goes correctly, just watch the HP damage. Oh, that's actually Lord of the Storm. Okay, so Purple Sun would be even worse. That probably would have just devastated this Bretonian formation, but it might still be on cooldown, or he might be a little bit low in Winds of Magic. The Grail Guardian's definitely not good against Shaggus. The Halberds are the saving grace here. They're just kind of holding their armor-piercing values, able to get through a lot of these Chaos Warriors, and you can see the Mounted Yeoman for Bretonia, and coming in with a rear charge, they're going to try and break the leadership of these Chaos Forces. The Aspiring Champions helping with some encouragement, and yeah, this is actually becoming a pretty close fight, but just as I said that, the bounce power does shift slightly in the favor of the Warriors of Chaos, a little bit more of a clear advantage. The Halberd play very good. I do like that build quite a bit. I don't think the Grail Guardians were the right pick here. I think Questing Knights would have been a little bit better. Grail Knights would have been a little bit better against Shaggus. Because, like, I don't know, yeah, they're good in sustained combat, good for Death Star, but it looks like over here, Chalice of Potions is going to be going down right on top of these Chaos Warriors with Halberds, so the sky opens up, Holy Witchcraft is going to be coming out of the sky, and let's see it come down and just slam onto these Chaos Warriors right down into that formation, doing huge damage against those Halberds, just beautiful stuff, and that Grail Reliquary really keeping these Bretonians fighting against insurmountable odds here. 74 Chaos Warriors here, 51 right here. I do not see how he's going to get through that, and Kolek and his Kolek Jr. I mean, Shetland Apache put up a great fight. I think that Romulan Dog is going to take this game, but I mean, that was close. I mean, considering how rough some of the initial trades went, like Shetland Apache did a really, really good job kind of putting up a fight there. It's a hard matchup for Bretonia as is. The Halberds are just so cost effective against the Knights. Lore of Death just melts these Grail Guardians, but I really didn't like the Grail Guardian builds. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel they have a really great purpose here. They're not going to do particularly well with their low offensive stats against like any of the Chaos Infantry. They have low AP. I feel like Questing Knights would have been a little bit better, because at least they would have had good armor piercing against both Kolek as well as the Chaos Warriors. So at this point, the Fey Enchantress is putting up a fight. She's trying. She's in the pits, just being attacked by Halberds. And yeah, that's going to be it. So Romulan Dog, who took second place in the last ever chosen against Soothsayer, is probably going to be moving on to the finals here today. And yeah, he's going to be facing the winner of Aerocrastic and Soothsayer. So yeah, we're probably going to get some Skaven next, I would imagine. It is Kolek Jr., basically. Bretonia does have a lot of stuff rallying at this point. Bounce of power is about 25% for Bretonia, so Kolek and Kolek Jr. are just going to go hunting. The Grail Reliquary really netted a lot of value for those guys. Like, honestly, if Shetland had just brought like mass Halberds with like 2 Grail Reliquaries, I don't know, he might have been able to win that in just a grind match. The Fey Enchantress does break off, and that's going to be a 2-0. That is going to be a 2-0, boys. So well played, Romulan Dog with the steel chair. Absolutely. That was a great game. So big thanks to Magnum Knights, the Purple Sun rotated back, yeah, and for the $2 donation, or Canadian $2. Thank you so much. And Farragon77 with another erect $5 donations. So Farragon says 500 likes and I'll donate $100. Get it done. Please, guys, get there. That's going to not only help me out, but it's also going to help the winner of this tournament and support our multiplayer community. So let's make it happen. All right, so let's go ahead here and update the scoreboard. So blue team score, and we're going to go ahead and do 2. All right, guys, so that's it. I did like Shetland's army. I have no critiques other than the Grail Guardians. I really felt they were out of place and they didn't really pay for themselves. Even just getting like a couple Knights of the Realm or something, just like something cheaper and going wider, more pressure. Quest Knights would have been better. The Shaggus are so good in this matchup. It's a really hard one for Bretonia to win, to be honestly. I think Chaos would probably have like a 60% win rate there. It's really, really tough. So yeah, guys. That's likes for the like god. Yeah, we got 652, boys. So for anyone joining late, this is the Flash Tournament. Winner gets 25% of all on-stream donations. 2 best of 3s with the best of 5 finals. So, in game 3, I just want to get Chaos monsters, demons. I just want Nurgle monsters. I want Corn monsters. I want all that good stuff. So well played, guys. Well played. So let me see here, and we could go ahead here. 1 second. I'm just checking some messages. Yeah, I'm just letting them know that. Okay, he already declared that. Sorry, guys. I'm just checking the Discord, and we're good to go. All right, so we're going to be joining the Flash Tourney Game 2 here. So let me just go ahead and put on the intermission screen, which is so fancy. And we're just going to be updating the scoreboard here and everything. And that'll be it. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying the format. I think it's a really fun one for the channel. I think we might do like one of these where it's going to be like, what's it called? Where we have Autogen. Yeah, that was a great game. That was a really good series, Romulan. I love the Mass Vanguard Beastmen and everything. So right now we're just going to update here. Oh, this is going to be, yeah, just wait till you guys see the next matchup. Yeah, PayPal is actually in the comment section, so if you guys want to do that, you can choose that as well. All right, so let's see here. We got to update the scoreboard. I'm still getting used to this like new user interface. It's really quite fancy. So, and we're going to switch back. Perfect. And now I just got to update this. It's weird. It doesn't let me update it without... So for this, we're just going to call you Soothsayer. So it all fits nicely. And then we are going to update you over here. And this is going to be Aerocrastic. And then we're going to update the blue team scoreboard, and we're going to do this. Look at that technology, the power of technology coming in hard. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. I think we're solid. Start when ready. So for this first one, it's going to be Chaos versus Vampire counts. Unfortunately, it is blind pick, so you got to be careful picking Chaos. I mean, Chaos is a very common first pick, and the Vampire counts, of course, are pretty much a hard counter to Chaos, from my experience. We'll get Steven Seagal back. He'll be blocking the screen, so he's here eating a carrot, teaching us all a lesson about education and everything. Yeah, Soothsayer is playing. Yeah, he's going to be playing Aerocrastic. Yeah. And we got Romulan Dog in the finals waiting for the winner of this match. So this is a best of 3. And then that's going to be that. Oh, yeah. Reston. You know, I think the best way to win this with Chaos is just to go with like Halberds and Shaggots and just like hope and pray you can snipe out the Vampire Lord. Yeah. Why always do Sarah? Yeah. Well, you know what? In the last, in the Ever Chosen we had, and this is going to be on the Pillar of Bone. In the Ever Chosen tournament, Romulan Dog played Soothsayer in the finals, and it was a 3-1 series. Soothsayer did win 3-1, but Romulan Dog almost won those first 2 games. Like, it could have gone either way. So, I mean, I think they're a pretty solid matchup for each other. And we will try and get Gobble King, of course, in future games and everything, but I can't wait for spectator mode either. I'll probably make more faction guides once my hand gets fixed. Once, like, the doctor... I might have to get shoulder surgery, actually. I might have to get shoulder surgery, yeah, because my doctor suspects that I have a torn labrum, so that is causing a ton of problems in my right hand. So I might have to do that. I don't know how that would affect the channel. Hopefully I could still like cast games at least, and maybe if I can't like click efficiently, I can at least move my hand around with the mouse and cast games. Yeah. Oh, did I get rid of Steven Seagal? Is he still there? Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. I know, isn't it ridiculous? Yeah, Steven Seagal is like, I guess he's like a Russian politician now. Like he's like an ambassador to the USA for Russia. It's some absurd thing. I don't even know how that happened. Yeah. I know. And guys, the Ever Chosen is going to be a somewhat regular thing as well. We're probably going to have it like 3 or 4 times a year. So stay tuned for that, guys. Magnum Knights, holy shit. Oh, man, demonetized. Magnum Knights with the $100 donation. I shall toss my Northern Monopoly money into the hat. Fight hard, lads. Turin, any advice for a Chaos main online? Still having a hard time winning. Advice for Chaos. So, yeah, give me a matchup you want. So, for Warriors of Chaos, essentially there's kind of a bit of a formula, right? If you're playing against a faction with very heavy missile play, you don't want to pick Kolek. But if you're going against any of the Bestial factions or factions without good missile play, just pick Kolek Sun Eater. Typically, it's very safe to bring a front line of Chaos Warriors with great weapons, or even Chosen with great weapons, because they can beat pretty much any infantry, and with the heavy armor, it kind of makes up for the lack of shields. So I would recommend that. Oftentimes, just going with a bunch of hounds to pressure the flanks with Chaos Knights, you can really team up the hounds with the Chaos Knights, and that's some mean pressure on the flanks with Lore of Death. But yeah, just go with Kolek and Shaggoths. I mean, that's like a really, really safe bet. So thank you so much for the fat donation, man. That is awesome. And thank you for the Monopoly money. And Magnum Knights, make sure to join our Discord. We'll get a link here in chat. And you can always shoot me messages on there if you have questions about builds and stuff. Just shoot me messages on there. I will respond. Some might take me a little bit of time, but just do it. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you so much, man. That is fat. All right, so for the Warriors of Chaos over here, for Aerocrastic, definitely going to be a very, very hard matchup. The Vampire Counts have such an advantage here. But he is going to be bringing a Chaos Sorcerer with the Lore of Death. Spirit Leech probably just going to be spamming that on top of the Claw of Nagash. And he actually does have Doom and Darkness and Aspect of the Dread Knight. So I'm not sure why he brought Aspect of the Dread Knight, because I guess it gives leadership. Yeah, that's a bit of a strange pick. Let me see what they're saying in chat. Okay, they're saying let's go. Okay. So for the front line for Aerocrastic, he does have a Chosen with Halberds, which is very solid. The Mirror Guard in the middle. Looks like a couple groups of Chaos Marauders. Chaos Knights with Lances. He does have a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth and a massive Marauder Horseman firing line here, as well as some Halberds in the back. So not a bad army. Certainly can get some good shock value from the Chaos Knights with Lances. Looks like he's going to be going in there and trying to get some freebies. For the Vampire Counts, though, they have the Red Duke, they have double Terrorgeist. It is just absolute insanity. He has a Deathcaster, so he has Spirit Leech, and then on the Duke, he has the standard Raise Dead Invocation. So the Chaos Knights are going to be pulling back when the Dragons and the Terrorgeist get in position. Definitely does not want that engagement. And the Mirror Guard and the Chosen are going to be really good. The Vampire Counts have a fairly cheap infantry core, but a really good play here. So Soothsayer uses the Failbats to kind of harass the Chaos Knights, which they need to get their charge to be effective in combat. So they're going to charge the bats a little bit just to fend them off. Marauders pushing up as well. Marauder Horsemen are a very, very good answer against the Claw of Nagash. If Aerocrastic's able to win this matchup, I would be thoroughly surprised. So the Chaos Knights coming in just to kind of lance down some of the zombies. Very good for clearing out the chaff. The Mirror Guard also pretty stalwart infantry. They are immune to psychology, so the Mortis Engine isn't necessarily going to dumpster those guys. So the initial fighting's underway. Some zombies have been summoned here behind these Marauders, which will probably break them fairly quickly. And here comes the throwing axes, or just, I guess, spears. So he didn't bring the throwing axes, which might have been a better idea, although Terrorgeists only have 80 armor, so it's not like a ton. But this Terrorgeist a little bit surrounded by the Chaos Knights, of course, going to do a good job with the support of the Mortis Engines. But here comes the first volley, so beautiful stuff here from Aerocrastic. He's able to get some huge volleys here on the Claw of Nagash. Doom and Darkness, he's trying to break its leadership to crumble it. So that's kind of a cool strategy. Granted, it's not... That Winds of Magic ultimately isn't really going to pay for itself, and a Zombie Summon looks to be coming in the back line, or actually a Spirit Leech being used on the Fellbat. So trying to burn those Fellbats off. The Dragon Ogre Shaggoth trying to peel them as well, and Chaos Warriors with Halberds are pulling in, but massive damage on the Claw of Nagash so far. I would probably just spam Spirit Leech. Chaos Knights doing a decent job, but they took a beating, and that's such an expensive unit to lose this early. The other group of Chaos Knights are in pretty good shape. Fellbats in the back are finally being worn off, and the Chaos Sorcerer with the Lore of Death here having a duel with the Vampire, and he's using Doom and Darkness to try and break their leadership. Immortal Will being popped with the Shaggoth coming in as well. This could be really good. If that Shaggoth can pound town that Vampire, that would be definitely a good way for him to get back in the game. The Mirror Guard are working their way through the zombies, but the Chaos Sorcerer with the Lore of Death gets hit with Elsif, and the Zombie Dragon comes in, he breaks. The Chaos Knights and Halberds do pile in to save him, but yeah, that's just such a tough proposition. The Mortis Engine is in the back kind of lurking, just playing it safe, picking apart Marauders, but this is such a hard matchup for Chaos here. So the Red Duke comes in with a Potion of Strength, Von Hells, just an absolute terror in the night. Right now he's rocking 728 weapon strength. The double Terrorgeists are going to be piling in, and there's nothing this Dragon Ogre can do, really. He's just going to get absolutely just slammed on by these two Terrorgeists, probably. But thankfully, the Chaos Sorcerer with the Lore of Death is still alive. He has stacked on top of Halberds, and some of these Marauder Horsemen are circling around. The Vampire Count's Chaff is holding surprisingly well, too. The Skeletons are actually in zombies, still haven't died to the Mirror Guard. And this Vampire used its Immortal Will to kind of heal up a little bit. The Red Duke still in perfect health. The Mortis Engine in relatively good health, so it's looking pretty grim for the Warriors of Chaos. I really do think that you need to go with Kolek and double Shaggoth here just to try and outduel these big monsters. That's usually one of the better ways to do it, in my opinion. So right here, you can see that the Chaos Knights are forced into combat with these two Terrorgeists, and they're going to do almost nothing. I mean, they have pretty poor AP themselves. They really need to get the charge, and that's something about Terrorgeists. They take away the charge. You can't even get the charge in them because they're always going to... Well, you can if they're landed there, but... In the back, the Chaos Sorcerer with Lore of Death is being kind of pushed out by the Vampire with the Lore of Death, and he's probably not going to do a whole lot. He is on foot, so he's hard to snipe out. But yeah, I think it's over at this point. I think the Vampire Counts just have too much power. The Red Duke is still in perfect health. The Terrorgeist is in really good health. You can see this one's in good health. I mean, it's going to be a little bit tough here. Back in the back, the Claw of Nagash is just kind of circling about. He's done a really good job just playing super conservative with the Mortis Engine. You know, the answer for that, for the Warriors of Chaos, was using these Marauder Horsemen to kind of pick it apart, but he's kept it just out of range, like behind his main infantry line. Chaos still does have Chosen with Halberds, it has the Mirror Guard, it has its own Shaggoth, but its leadership is being picked apart by Felbats. And right here, I mean, the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, which is one of the few tools that can do anything here, it's just going to be swamped and outnumbered by the sheer power of these Terrorgeists. I mean, there is a chance that Chaos could pull something back with the Chosen with Halberds. What needs to happen is this Deathcaster needs to get, like, on top of the Chosen with Halberds and just, like, you better pray, baby. He needs to get back there and just, like, try and hold and do the best he can. But the Red Duke is coming for that booty, guys. You can see he's got a fat chub. He's coming in for that Chaos Sorcerer. There's a Vampire as well, a very, very powerful Goon Squad here. And yeah, you know, Lords of Chaos are strong, but the Red Duke on a Zombie Dragon is, like, one of the more powerful duelists of the old world. And is he dead? Oh no, he just got knocked over. So he got hit with Elsif. His physical resist is low. His melee defense is 0, so he's basically going to get hit by everything. The Mortis Engine, though, Aerocrastic is doing a really good job, like, perpetually pursuing this Mortis Engine. The Dragon Ogre Shaggoth is still alive, and Chaos is kind of stabilizing in the main fight. If he can prevent army losses, maybe he'll have some way of scrapping back into the game, but the problem is the Mortis Engine is going to be so tough to finish. And with the Shaggoth, or not the Shaggoth, but with the Terrorgeist plus the Zombie Dragon, it's going to be so hard to finish those guys off. So Skeleton Spearmen breaking off. The Chosen with Halberds over here have won their fight, so Chaos still does have a decent pocket. I really would love to see, I mean, everyone I've seen play this matchup in the past couple tournaments and things like that, they never bring Kolek. I really think he's so good in this matchup. Like, if the Red Duke comes down to fight, Kolek can just go like, hey bro, what's up? And just go like fisticuffs and do his thing, but man, I'm surprised. Like, I wish people would just bring Kolek. But Chaos still has a pretty decent army. I mean, but the leadership of the Vampire Counts, which is always the case here, the 2 Terrorgeists plus the Zombie Dragon is so hard to finish, plus the Mortis Engine. I mean, most of the stuff that has been killed is mainly just chaff. So a pretty good charge from the Chaos Knights. They do get a charge here on the Duke. Doesn't actually do any damage. That was really disappointing. It did like 50 damage there. But the Shaggoth might get an attack here. Let's see. He gets an attack, does about 400 damage. That was definitely pretty solid. There still are some Marauder Horsemen available. So the Marauder Horsemen could potentially finish off the Claw of Nagash here. But anyways, the Red Duke coming back up into the sky. The Terrorgeists are just going to take turn cycle charging. Honestly, he should probably just get all 3 and just like swarm the Dragon here. Looks like a Zombie Summon going down, which is good. That's going to take away the pressure from the Knights and allow them to really just focus down the Dragon Ogre. And once this Dragon Ogre takes a little bit more damage, that's going to be game, which is really unfortunate because he still has a lot of Chaos Knights, the Chosen, excuse me, with Halberds. I mean, there's so many of these guys, and they still have a lot of fight to give against these units, but he's going to break due to army losses after the Shaggoth goes down, most likely. He should pull this bad boy back. Pull it back, stack on top of the Halberds, just go straight up Helm's Deep. And now the bounce of power is about like 15% in the favor of the well, Chaos has 15% of the bounce power. And the Chosen with Halberds are pushing forward, definitely going to cleave through the zombies and whatnot, but I just don't see how they're going to get these guys. I mean, the Marauder Horsemen, yeah, just ignore the Red Duke. Finish off that Mortis Engine, because that will at least pull you back on the bounce of power a little bit. But, I mean, it looks like they have a lot, right? But yeah, the Dragon Breath just doing huge damage right there against the Chaos Marauders, and now everything is wavering due to army losses, and that's going to be it. Game 1 is going to go to Soothsayer. But, guys, you got to give it up for Aerocrastic. He put up an amazing fight. I mean, that's one of the hardest matchups in the game. Chaos rarely wins that. Honestly, it's probably like a 70-30 matchup. I think in the Ever Chosen we saw that it was like a 65% because Creative Assembly actually showed us like behind the scenes footage. So yeah, man, that was a tough one. That was a tough one. Man, but Aerocrastic put up a great fight, you know? Man put up a great fight. You got to bring Kolek. All right, so let's do it to it. So that's game 1. Let me go ahead and update. Chosen are so good. Chosen with Halberds are solid. So blue team score, we're going to update this. And yeah, so 1-0 for Soothsayer so far. So yeah, I mean, I liked Aerocrastic's army. It was really good. Personally, I would just cut Chaos Knights with Lances. Maybe keep 1 and just get the ones with the swords and shields. They're a little bit more durable, and you're not going to get great charges against vampires anyways. Get the Marauder Horsemen, maybe switch them to throwing axes. Cut one of the Chaos Knights, just spam more Chosen with Halberds, get Kolek and a Shaggoth, and just stand on top of your Halberds. And honestly, if the Mortis Engine tries to come in, you can usually bully it with Kolek. I really think that's the way to go. In my experience, I've had success against pretty good players with that. Granted, I mean, against Soothsayer, I mean, who knows? I mean, that guy's like a terror in the night, so good luck with that. But, I mean, it's probably like almost a guaranteed loss against a guy like him. You know, that's a really, really hard matchup. So, GG. Yeah, GG. Yeah, it is. Yeah, Soothsayer's almost impossible. In game 2. So, in game 2, we're going to have the Empire versus the Tomb Kings. So, let me go ahead and get the Steven Seagal screen blocker up, and we're going to party from there. Hey, big thanks to all of you guys for joining today. We're up to 729 viewers. Quite a party. Always a good time. Yeah, those mirror guard were just like a buzzsaw. Hey, Italian Spartacus is here in chat. Thanks, man. Thank you for your support, as always. And yeah, Magnum Knights, thanks again for the Canadian Monopoly money, as you call it. That we really appreciate it. That's gonna up the ante quite a bit here in the final. So thank you so much, man. We got something at stake now. Yes, yes. I am the Senate. I'm gonna do some stretches while we're here. Let me make sure my zipper is up first. Okay. Yeah, that was a good game, despite the fact like the Marauder Horsemen did really good. Yeah, those guys were pretty solid. I really just think you need to fight fire with giant chaos mauls with like the Star Crusher. You can't go in there with like just some limp lord. You need to go fisticuffs. But this is a matchup I think is pretty even. I think Tomb Kings can do very well here. They can spam Carrion, which is really good for shutting down missile play. Constructs, though, are very vulnerable against like focus fire from like handgunners and stuff. So there's some give and take here. Shopty Great Bows is so powerful. They can pick apart heavy cav. And if you want to play with like your Shopty Great Bows, you can simply just kind of hang back and just shoot the heavy cav and defend yourself with spears and all kinds of stuff like that. So, hey, what's up, guys? Just doing some stretches. Oh man, I am. Yeah. Lady Turin, my lovely wife, will be leaving links to Discord. Make sure to join up. Yeah, Avery, everything went through on the last stream. Gobbo King got his prize money. It was great. Last week was great. I think Gobbo King came away with like $100-something. I can't remember the exact amount, but it was pretty good. I know. Well, that stretch is really good because it kind of loosens up my shoulders. Yeah. Yes. Now I'm just doing the classic inertial stretches here, I believe is what they're called. Thomas says, hey, Turin in chat. Finally played my first multiplayer game yesterday. Ended up against Ark in the Black. It was a pretty short game. Yeah, he's a good player. Yeah. I like, people often ask me why I don't stream on Twitch. I love the YouTube community. I love everyone here on YouTube. It's like, I don't know. I kind of feel like I would be betraying my YouTube channel. I don't know. Like, what? Why should I stream on Twitch? Like, what's the argument for it? Hey, my pants are zipped up. You guys, take it easy in there. Yes, yes. Would you say $1 million? Yes, I would. All right. Yeah, it's still... Soothsayer's gonna bring the pain for sure. He's gonna bring the pain. Yeah, I know most of the good hand and wrist stretches and all that stuff. Most of them, not all. We love you too. Yeah, I don't know. Like I've streamed on Twitch a couple times, and I don't know, the vibe, just the feeling I get from the community is like it's different. It's a little bit different. Yeah. I know Twitch is like a more optimized streaming platform. But it's like all you guys are already here on the YouTube channel. It'd be kind of annoying to be like, all right, everyone go over to my Twitch. We'd probably get less people watching. People on YouTube might not know I was streaming there. I don't know. Maybe I should. Just to kind of get it out there. But you guys want Chef Harriet? Okay, I can get Chef Harriet. No problem. So Steven Seagal can now go away. He's done his job. Might pick up more random views on Twitch. Yeah. I mean, I could dual stream. Matthew. Oh my God. Matthew with the fat $100 erect donation. Big fan, man. You keep being you. Matthew, my dude. Thank you so much. The stakes are high, boys. The stakes are high. Oh man, I bet Aerocrastic wants to win this one now. You can do both at the same time, apparently. It might be a little bit bandwidth intensive. Dude, thank you so much, man. Nice. The stakes for this tournament are high now, guys. The first place guys are actually fighting for a day's wage. All right. Well, thank you so much, man, for the fat, erect, $100 donation, Matthew. I can't thank you enough, man. You're making this multiplayer scene breathe. I'm alive. I'm a man. Thank you, guys. Turn can take... Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't give me that money until the 21st of the month, but I mean, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll take her out when I get paid. No, we'll go out. We're actually going out after this, so. This has become a point. Yeah. Man, thank you guys so much. All right. Thank you, dude. I can't thank you enough, Matthew. That's awesome. Can we get Michael Rosen? Oh, dude, no. All right, maybe next week we'll get Michael Rosen. Seriously, man, thank you so much. All right, so for the armies of Aerocrastic, he's going to be playing the Tomb Kings. He does have an Necrotect on a Chariot with the Restore, so looking probably to heal either the Necropolis Knights or the Ushabti Grapos here. For the main army, he does have Skeleton Warriors, front line of Nehekar Warriors. You don't really need good infantry against the Empire, so he just has Nehekar Warriors, which do pretty well against like state troops and spearmen. A couple groups of Ushabti Grapos. He does have a Lightcaster with Nets of Ammontok, Baroness Time Warp, and Foz Protection. Two groups of the Sneaky Snake Knights, always a good choice. Nehekar Horsemen, going to be using, they'll get run over by Empire Heavy Cav, but pretty good as a skirmish, kind of a countercharge Cav. A Carrion, and that's pretty much it. Who does he have for his Lord? On Lord, he actually just has a Tomb King on foot, so he's going to be using that in the front line. And for the forces of Soothsayer, looks like he does have a combination of swordsmen. So swordsmen, yeah, not bad. I mean, against skeletons, they'll do fine. He does have Sigmar's Sons. He has the Tattersouls too, so we're getting to see some Flagellants, which is a fairly rare sightings. So very, very happy about that. Swordsmen and more Flagellants. On top of that, he does have Outriders with grenade launchers, so he's going to be blowing up some skeletons with grenades. That should be the title of this stream, in my opinion. In the forest, he has Demogryph Knights with Halberds, Empire Knights. He has the Archlector. Oh man, Soothsayer coming in hard with the Archlector. Man, if we see that in a competitive match, that's pretty solid. On top of that, we got a Jade Wizard with the Lore of Life, and yeah, this is a badass army from Soothsayer. The Archlector just charging at skeletons with like dual wielding hammers, like, come on, man, let's do it. It's gonna get straight up like animal here. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know. I think that Aerocrastic, if he plays his cards right, has a slight advantage because the Ushabti Grapos will wreck Demogryph Knights. His infantry will probably trade effectively, especially if he uses the Necropolis Knights in the front line. Because these are the standard combat variant, they're not the halberd variant, so if he just runs these into Flagellants or Swordsmen, they'll just like annihilate them. So I really like this army quite a bit. So, hey, Ago, thank you for the 200 Norwegian crowns. Is that what that is, or king? I forget what it is, but thank you so much. I don't know what that translates to, but thank you, dude.
Give you a meat.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, so the battle's underway. Ushabti Grapos raining some fire on the great swords of Soothsayer. Definitely doing some pretty good work here. And yeah, Soothsayer is probably going to be forming ranks to provide a bit of a screen here. Some of the Nehekar horsemen from Aerocrastic are able to scout in the forest, and they're most likely, oh, they're still hidden? Actually, they're still hidden. So Soothsayer's Archlector is going to be charging out of the forest. You can see here that the Demogryph Knights are also charging out as well in the grenade launchers. So the Empire force is basically squaring up to meet the Tomb Kings. The Necropolis Knights in the front line, they should honestly just take the free charge. Then he could maybe detach some of his spears to screen out the heavy cav. Demogryph Knights will just toss the salad of these Necropolis Knights. He needs to be very careful. He does have Nets of Ammontok. These Ushabti Grapos need to switch their fire onto the Demogryph Knights and these expensive troops. They shouldn't be wasting any more infantry on ammo on the infantry. So the Sneaky Snakes do charge into the Swordsmen, but the Demogryph Knights are hot in pursuit. He needs to pull the Sneaky Snakes back. Looks like the grenade launcher shooting in as well against the Skeletons. Just absolute anarchy. And now the Grapos are shooting at Demogryph Knights, and they have picked off two models. The Sneaky Snakes are just running rampant, just running through all these infantry. Over here, the Demogryph Knights do get caught in a net, so beautiful play here by Aerocrastic. Spearmen are holding up, but look at this. He's just bouncing back and forth, an absolute menace. A beautiful start here from the Tomb Kings. And it looks like the scroll does go down, which is going to give him some wins of magic. So this has been pretty much a perfect start here. Ushabti Grapos tearing apart these Demogryph Knights. The one issue being is that these Ushabti Grapos in the back are undefended. So the Demogryph Knights could get back there, and that could be catastrophic. If these Ushabti Grapos get compromised, he needs to pull these spears back. He needs to pull these Sneaky Snakes, at least protect this Ushabti Grapo, because the Archlector is coming for that booty. So here they come, charging in, and the Ushabti Grapos are just going to get melted. You can see on the initial charge, a couple of them die. Yeah, it looks like they still have their full models, but they're certainly not going to last much longer. Yeah, don't worry, I'll get to donations after the stream here. But the front line for the Tomb Kings, they are just melting the Empire. Aerocrastic actually has a pretty substantial advantage in the bounce of power. It's about 55-60% in his favor here, as the Imperial forces are just getting run over by the Tomb Kings. Demogryph Knights here being dragged down by the Sneaky Snakes. And it looks like Soothsayer is trying to reform his ranks here. The Swordsmen and the Flagellants trying to get back to the Archlector. Some of the Flagellants are going to be sacrificed to the Snake Gods here. But nonetheless, just an amazing battle so far. So the Flagellants in the middle being taken out by the Necrotechs and Nehekar Warriors. I feel like these nets have just been so on point. So the Demogryph Knights here on the far side were chasing down the Ushabti Grapos. Aerocrastic gets a beautiful net, pins them down, attacks them with snakes, a Lich Priest, as well as some spears. He's getting some really, really good value there. So bounce of power evening out a little bit. So it looks like he's getting back in the game a little bit. Soothsayer fighting his way back in. The Necrotech here taking some work. He doesn't have much support. The Archlector, of course, getting heals and buffing all these nearby troops. But those Ushabti Grapos, they need to start shooting again. So it looks like they have a couple models. They are crumbling. -5 leadership. They might be able to stabilize. We'll find out in a second. And here they come. They're going to start shooting into the Demogryph Knights again. This was a big mistake not finishing these guys off. This is still a lot of firing power. The other group of Ushabti Grapos is firing into the Demogryph Knights as well. And over here, it looks like these demis are finally going to be worn down probably by the Necropolis Knights, who do have the support of the Tomb King, as well as some of the Skeleton Spears. So those Flagellants fighting to the bitter end. There's still 16 of those bad boys. A very, very even fight, but it looks like for the first time, Soothsayer is somehow going to get his way back into this game. The balance of power pulling back into his favor a little bit. But guys, remember, there still is the Ushabti summon in the pocket of the Tomb Kings. And yeah, these Ushabti Grapos are just going to get wrecked right now. The Demogryph Knights have gone free. That was a pretty big mistake, like leaving them unprotected. I definitely would have just left some spears at least to muck up the Demogryph Knights, because those are like, that's his key to victory here. The other Ushabti are safe though. Aerocrastic has done a very good job protecting those guys, the second group. They're in perfect health. He does have spearmen protecting them. The Ushabti are now going to turn and start shooting at these Demogryph Knights. Over here, the Sneaky Snakes, there's still a couple of them, 10 models. It looks like the last of those Tattersouls are being taken out, but I think that Soothsayer suddenly has a bit of an advantage. The Spearmen, they definitely need to stay here. It looks like the Archlector is going to be going in with the Empire Knights. They're going to be going after these Ushabti here. The Spearmen are going to be rushing back in. And the Tomb Prince and the Tomb King over here, or the Tomb Prince and the Lich Priest here, looks like they're going to be dropping another net, perhaps, on the Demogryph Knights. And then they're actually going to countercharge. Oh no, he actually netted down the, one of the groups here. And the Ushabti Summon coming into, so the Ushabti Summon's going to bring some armor piercing to the battlefield. Maybe they'll be able to finish these guys off. The Amulet of Fasta going down, giving them lower armor. And the Ushabti have charged in as well. And the Tomb Prince or Tomb King is trying to make his way over there, but I don't know. This is going to be tough. These the Tomb King's forces are looking very sparse, but so are the Empires. The grenade launchers are actually doing a really good job cleaning up. They have 82 kills. The Archlector has these Skeleton Spearmen kind of pinned down, and this is going to be the really deciding fight here. If these Demogryph Knights can be taken out, both groups, but man, Demogryph Knights are so powerful against like armored constructs. You can see here that the Ushabti have the reanimate to give them leadership, but the Demogryph Knights are chewing through them. Although these ones are starting to break. Balance of power is pretty damn even. I think Aerocrastic had the advantage initially, but Soothsayer has just been relentless, reorganizing his forces, just getting back in this game. The Flagellants just piling in here, just laying a holy whooping for Sigmar on these skeletons. So just beautiful stuff right here. You can see these guys are just going to be holding to the end, but yeah, they're not a match for these forces here. So the other group of Ushabti Grapos, unfortunately, is isolated, and I think when they go down, that's pretty much going to be game blouses. There's some Sneaky Snakes left, some in Ushabti. There is a full group of Nehekar Warriors over here, but they're being grenade launched pretty hard. That one group of grenade launchers doing a beautiful job for Soothsayer, just picking apart these infantry. So the Ushabti Grapos still continuing to fight. You can see that the last of the summoned Ushabti are going to be piling in against these Flagellants. Definitely going to tear apart quite a few models here. But the Sneaky Snakes are down. Balance of power is in the favor of Soothsayer by, it's probably like 45% right now. And Soothsayer does have the advantage, so definitely some wild stuff here. Aerocrastic going to be using Barona's Time Warp to buff his troops up. He really doesn't have much here, though. He just has the Lich Priest and the Ushabti Grapos fighting. He really needs to get those Nehekar Warriors back. Like, having those guys, and it looks like they just chased off some swordsmen, but getting them in this fight could potentially be game-changing. I don't know, though. Maybe the Tomb King with Barona's Time Warp plus the what's it called? The Tomb Strike, which is going to give, like, terror, could potentially rout off these troops, but there's 14 Demogryph Knights here. They all have the buff, the Grand Hammer of Sigmar, the Grand Shield of Faith. I don't know how these Tomb Kings are going to survive. Do they have anything left on the map? We're looking around. We're not seeing anything. The Nehekar Warriors are just being grenade launched. This is just absolute insanity, guys. Very, very good game here by both players so far. Tomb Kings are really tough to take down, though. Those guys are linebackers, but I think Soothsayer can just kind of like cycle charge them into oblivion, most likely. And once the swordsmen get in there, I mean, he really needs these Nehekar horsemen or warriors back. And you can see they're actually over here fighting against the grenade launchers. And they're doing a good job. Grenade launchers are shaken, but they're very slow. They have 28 speed. I think by the time he gets them back here, it's going to be game. But, you know, Aerocrastic almost took this game. Like, his play in the beginning with the nets was just a thing of beauty. Just very, very good stuff. So that's going to be it. We got 2-2-0s early on. I mean, but he put up a great fight there in both those games. But Soothsayer just relentless. So some chat. We got Ego with the $200 donate, 200 crowns. I'm not sure how much that translates. I think it's a fair amount, like maybe $20 or something. Thank you so much, dude. Farragon77, $5 says, I'm raising the stakes. $200 for 500 likes. Can we get to 500 likes, guys? Come on. It's gonna help the people. And then we got Boyan with the $2 donation. Thank you, my friend. Really appreciate it. Yeah, those grenade launchers were sweet. I mean, 126. He used Flagellants, he used Swordsman, he used Archlector, and made it work. That was absolute insanity. That was really cool. So we'll go ahead and update the scoreboard here, and that's 2-0. So the finals are going to be a Romulan Dog versus Soothsayer, just like the Everchosen. It's a repeat, a rematch. We have quite the narrative of the Everchosen. Hey, Ego, I'll take it, dude. We got Skino Man, Outriders in the rear with the gear. Hell yeah, dude. Thank you for the $10 donation. And we got Zek Judd. Turin, you should give us 40k battle reports so we can see your Death Guard in action. I will. It'll happen someday. You guys need to harass Italian Spartacus and tell him to play with me. He won't play. You guys need to tell him. There will be 40k bat reps though on my channel eventually. That's something I want to branch out. But that was a beautiful game by both players, guys. That was outstanding.
Yeah, boy.
That was really good. I mean, Aerocrastic's play was beautiful. In the beginning, he was like netting the Demogryph Knights. He was charging the infantry, peeling back. Great Ushopti, great Bowfire. That was a terrible pun. But the one mistake he made, I think if Aerocrastic had left a couple spears back there to protect his Ushopti, like King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion or Tomb Guard with Halberds, I think he would have won the game. I really do. Like Aerocrastic's play in the beginning was a thing of beauty. That was like masterful. It was so damn good. But just kind of the Demogryph Knights getting into the cookie jar, I think cost him the game. Because the Ushopti Grapos are really expensive. Yeah. No, you didn't. Don't worry. You're here just in time for the finals. So Max, thank you for the donation. Let's get to 500 likes. Let's do it. Yeah, we'll do bat reps for sure eventually. All right. So we're going to be moving on to the finals now. Yeah. Slayer haircut. All right, Soothsayer is going to be playing against Romulans. So let me go ahead and see if the lobby's up now. I might need to tell them to make the lobby real quick. Hold on. All right, let's go into the Discord and... All right, guys. Let's see here. Just tagging everyone, letting them know to set up the lobby. I'm sure people got to eat, so they probably went to go get a snack real quick. So yeah, those are hopefully. Do you guys like the scoreboard and everything? You feel like it looks okay? It's not too haggard. Okay, cool. So we're just gonna hang tight. We'll just put on the intermission screen here for a moment while we kind of get everyone ready to go. We'll just kind of keep chatting. I think Gabo came away with I can't remember. It was 100 something. What is this, Ever Chosen Part 2? Yeah. I don't know. You guys will have to ask him why he picked Archlector. I mean, he made it work. He made it work, dude. That was incredible Archlector play. Yeah, around that. Yeah. Ever Chosen 2.0. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like the scoreboard. I mean, the bounce of power isn't super important. It's kind of fun not to notice it until the end, right? Yeah, Magic the Gathering Arena, I recorded one yesterday. It's actually uploaded, so I just have to, yeah, it does block the bounce of power. So maybe next week I'll have to change that. Yeah, I figure if anything's going to be blocked, it's not a huge deal. Yeah, I think it looks really nice. All right, so yes, we are here, and let me make sure the password is... Oh. Don't hate on this bald boy. Any advice for a middle... I'm not... The only time I played a Vampire Counts campaign was when I was playing head-to-head versus Italian Spartacus, so I was just trying to kill him. I wasn't playing tactically, so... He was playing Dirthu, actually. I mean, I know campaign well enough. I mean, I can beat most campaigns on very hard and stuff, but I'm not a legendary campaign guy. All right, so we are back, I think, from outer space. And this is the finals, so let me go ahead and update the scoreboard so we can leave Soothsayer over there. Just change this. And this is best of 5, this one here. And we got to change red team name. I really actually do like this new streaming. I feel like it's pretty cool. Aerocrastic, and we are going to have Romulan. I got to make sure I spell Romulan Dog right. Does he spell it D-A-W-G? Okay. He spells it D-A-W-G. Got to make sure I get that. Cool. We're good to go, guys. We got to make sure Steven Seagal is up blocking. And here we go. Steven Seagal, screen blocker, eating the carrot. All right. They have wronged us. This isn't a campaign, no. This is not a campaign. This is the Flash tournament. So I'm trying to, get some big tournaments going on. I mean, they're not like big. You know, they're more bite-sized. They're 4-player Flash tournaments. So we have 4 players, 2 best of 3s, a best of 5 finals. This is the finals. So this is going to be a best of 5 between Soothsayer and Romulan Dog. This is a recreation of the Ever Chosen. So yeah, it's going to be pretty badass. Yeah. Zach, to answer your question, I played a head-to-head campaign against Italian Spartacus a long time ago, and I was playing Vlad and he was playing Jerthu. It was really fun. Yeah. I'm not sure what the pod is off the top of my head. Usually what I do is because basically YouTube takes its cut, just like Twitch. When you get anything on Twitch, Twitch takes its cut as well. So it takes about 2 days, and then I see what the actual cut is from the stream, and then from there I send the competitor 25%. It's Out for Justice? Yeah, that's the Steven Seagal movie. Thank you, man. So I don't think Belagar is really a great competitive pick. Let me make sure these guys are good. All right, guys, pick when ready. No rush. Good luck, good luck. Yeah, I'm excited for this one though. These guys are like definitely some very high level players. No, and most platforms, I mean, a lot of people complain about YouTube taking a cut or like this or that, but honestly, none of this would exist without YouTube. It's like they give us the platform. YouTube puts they put the advertising on our videos. I don't have to do anything with that. Like you just basically click monetize and they do it for you. It's like that's a lot of work. Like monetizing a platform like that is not easy. Like, and they broker the trade, the agreements. They have had some behavior in the past that's a little bit kind of like, with the adpocalypse and all that. It was a little bit rough. I wasn't a YouTuber back then, so I've only ever known it as it is. But I think YouTube is an amazing platform. I'm pretty grateful for it myself, to be honest. It allows me to do this for a living. So, I mean, I do have my complaints, but they're far outweighed by the benefits. All right, let me plug in my laptop real quick here, guys. Running out of steam. There we go. I have my laptop over on the side, and I read chat with it. So, Belagar, to answer your question, he's okay, like, against the Beastmen. Or Wood Elves. Belagar's not a terrible choice against Wood Elves because he's really durable against missile attacks, and he's, like, durable against being cycle charged. So he's, like, a good survivor lord. If like, you think you're going to get lord sniped, he's a pretty good choice. But, yeah. To make Belagar viable, I would give him like an activatable ability, like something like some targeting, like what High King Thorgrim has, where he can like target someone and like lower their stats or like intimidate them or lower their leadership. That would be really cool. Like where he could like glare at someone and like intimidate them with like how intense he is and like lower their leadership. He needs like an activatable ability that can give him some purpose. Yeah. Before I did YouTube for a living, I was an athletic director. Yeah. So I was an athletic director. I ran a sports program with about 2,000 athletes in it, and I ran football leagues. I ran soccer. Well, soccer and football leagues. Football for you Europeans. I ran tennis. I ran track and field leagues and I'd run big tournaments. I was an athletic director for a pretty big nonprofit. So, yeah. No, they just haven't switched to. They're AFK right now. Yeah, they just haven't picked their factions yet. One of them's AFK. So yeah, that's what I did. No, they're not playing this faction, don't worry. And if they do pick a mirror match and they both agree on it, one of the rules we have for the Flash tournament is that it can be a gentleman's agreement to switch off it. So they can like decide on another matchup. Unless they want to play the mirror. We actually had a mirror match last week, I think. We had double chaos in one of the Flash tournaments. It was actually pretty fun to watch. Yeah. Get there with the 80 likes. Yeah. No, I don't do those activities too much anymore. I do YouTube full time, and when I did do that, it was in Northern California. I was like a full time. I was full time employed with them, and then I started making not as much on YouTube, but close enough that I could do it for a living. So, yeah, and I moved to Los Angeles. Yes, that is true. Anna is correct. Don't worry, it's not Wood Elves versus Wood Elves. They're just AFK taking a quick restroom break, if I'm not mistaken. Which faction would you recommend for someone starting to get into multiplayer? I would recommend Warriors of Chaos. I definitely like quite a bit. You can have really simple style of play. You can just get a heavy infantry front line. Just go with like Chosen and Chaos Warriors, and then on the flanks just get like a couple Chaos Knights or Shaggots and just charge. And then send the Shaggots after their big targets. Have your infantry grind them down. Use some supporting magic. I would also recommend Vampire Counts. They're pretty forgiving because your troops aren't going to rout, so you don't have to worry about rallying. Vampires have a lot of weaknesses, but they are like a forgiving faction. So the first battle is going to be on Troll Country here. So Vampires, Chaos, Lizardmen I used to recommend, but they've gotten a little bit harder to play. Dark Elves are also another one. You can just spam like Harganeth and just go with like heavy infantry. Dark Elves are very good, but they're a little bit more micro intensive. Yeah. I would say Chaos is a really good one. I mean, Chaos has a high skill cap as well, but yeah. Yeah. Let's see. That would be my 2 cents. Yeah, and Norska. Norska's another one, but Norska is squishy. So if you make mistakes with like your infantry and let them get charged down, like you can lose the games pretty quick. But I do have a guide on my channel about Norska. It's like an hour and a half long. It gives you a build for every single matchup. A couple of those builds aren't like perfect. Oh, this is a fun matchup. Beastmen versus so we got Beastmen versus Chaos here. So Romulan Dog coming in with the Beastmen. Apparently one of his best factions. We've seen him play those guys quite a bit. And Soothsayer is going to be playing the Warriors of Chaos here. So Lizardmen just lose the front line in so many matchups. If you bring any armor against a Lizardman front line, you often lose it, which forces you to win with like other more micro-intensive tools. So, yeah. Yeah. But if you like playing a missile faction, Tomb Kings are a really good one to play in the beginning because they're like durable and they don't rout. Like you can just get like a heavy front line of skeletons, a couple of Shopti Grapo, like a Tomb Scorpion, and you're good to go. It's like Tomb Kings are a really solid competitive faction, I think, and they're forgiving. What one-on-one coaching? Oh, I've never thought about that. Well, just get in the Discord and hit me up sometime if I'm like, we can talk about it, or if I'm just like totally not doing anything. Honestly, if I didn't have my damn wrist problem, I would be on so much more. I would stream every day. I would stream my quick battles Monday through Friday, and then on weekends I would do these. It's really frustrating. I can only do like 2 a day, 2 or 3. Yeah, I'm gonna make more guides eventually. Strongest factions? Hard to say. Wood Elves, Dark Elves, Chaos is really good. They're all really good, yeah. The Beastmen are definitely scary. Oh, Greenskins are really powerful. Yeah, Greenskins are so good. With the Global Wa, they're really tough to beat. I'll win a game with Grimgor. Don't you worry. It will happen. Hey, if someone in chat, one of the moderators, could get a Discord link in chat, that would be outstanding. Oh, is Steven Seagal here yet? Okay, good. I wasn't sure if I put him up, because I know they're still picking, so. I don't want any stream sniping here. The hardest matchup for Dark Elves? I don't know. It's hard to say. Greenskins do pretty good against Dark Elves, actually. Because the Skirmisher Cav kind of get run over a little bit. But I don't know. They have some Dark Elves. I'd have to think about that one. I mean, there's a couple factions that have really good matchups versus them. Yeah, Greenskins are just strong. Yeah. And Greenskins have like some of the best lords in the game. Warzog is so powerful. He has the effigy of the Get, which he has a snare, number 1. Number 2, whenever he casts any spell, anything, not the Wa, any spell, your entire army gets like 12 or 13 melee attack from the Bonewood staff. He's just insane. He is so tough to beat. Warzog is really good. Azag is amazing. He's like a good duelist. He has a powerful mount. He has poison, armor piercing, lore of death. Like he's just a beast. Yeah. Yeah. How to deal with cycle charging as Skaven. So it's certainly a little bit tough. You have the Warp Lightning Cannon, so you can perpetually blast them. If you have like your Clan Rats with Spears or Storm Vermin, you can always brace. So oftentimes what I do is I play a very defensive formation against like heavy Cav factions. Get some Warp Lightning Cannons or Globadiers, sit behind Halberds. If they charge, I have Rat Ogres behind my infantry, so then I can countercharge and get a couple kills. That usually works out pretty well. I mean, it's still really hard, because it's not impossible to shut down Warp Lightning Cannons, so yeah. Stream skulking. That's pretty funny, yeah. Yeah, and the Baconator. We got the Baconator. Warzog is a G for sure. Did I update the scoreboard? Let me make sure I did. Okay, yeah. Great. Don't forget about Steven Seagal. He's here. He's ready. He's ready to go. I used to use a green screen. It was just annoying, to be honest. And the layout of my room isn't great for it. I don't have good lighting in here, so I'm just kind of like, screw it, you know? Let the natural light flow. So what I'll probably do is, whenever there's like new content coming out, I'll probably then do campaigns.
Little Wookie heard that we're missing only 65 likes to 500.
Okay. Well, Anna brought Wookie. Thank you, baby.
Show them the poopy butt.
No, this is so gross.
You're wiping the poop against your...
I thought we sprayed him earlier.
I did?
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So this is Wookie. Anna, my lovely lady, brought him. He doesn't like me. He just stares at her nonstop.
Do it, Wookie.
Say hi. Say hi, everyone. 65 more likes and Wookie won't have to go back to the dog blood sport pit. That's so sad. Oh, he's such a good boy.
Wookie, pretend that you're hungry.
Pretend that you're starving.
Yeah.
Wookie,
pretend you're abused.
He's not. We take such good care of him.
You mean I take such good care?
Yeah, Anna takes better care. Yeah, for sure.
I wipe his useless, shitty butt.
Yeah, yeah, he is pretty useless. So Wookie's back legs have kind of given out a little bit. You can kind of
show the butt.
You can kind of tell. No, you can kind of tell that like those legs are kind of limp. I mean, they still walk, but he kind of like can't go up hills very well. Here you go, baby. Here's the Wookie. So I actually carry him in a backpack when I go on walks.
Tell them about the socks.
After the next game or two, bring the backpack in. And we'll show them the backpack. I have a backpack where I put Wookie in the pack and I like carry him like Yoda and Luke Skywalker. I'm not even joking. It's hilarious. Can I close the blinds? Sure. Yeah, no problem, Gabo. Let's see here. I don't know if that'll help. Let me see. This damn thing. Now you guys, I'm in the darkness, and the darkness finds them. I'm gonna turn on the lights in my room. Don't worry. Just got all creepy in here. All right. Okay, 1 second. I just have to wash my hands. Wookie was all dirty. Oh, that dog is filthy, but I love him. Yeah, he's old. Wookie's like 12. Yeah, he's seen many winters. He has seen many winters. I know I just brought the great unclean one here. All right, guys, back to business. So here we're going to have the finals between Soothsayer, Talaxdalin Soothsayer. I think I said that right. Such a beast. And then he's going to be facing off against Romulan Dog. So recreation of the Ever Chosen 2 finals. Definitely a grudge match here, but it was very close last time. It was actually a 3-1 series, but all the games were very, very close except the last one. So for the armies of Soothsayer, a very heavy infantry army. So we just have massive amounts of Chaos Warriors with great weapons, a couple groups of standard Chaos Warriors, so a bit of a mixed forces army. He does have the Mirror Guard. That is a ton of heavy infantry. This is literally just like heavy metal, just absolute punishment. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, that's pretty much it for his mobile force. He does have Marauder Horsemen, so they're pretty good at like counter-skirmishing Centaurs and things like that. Very good at picking off like things like the Eye of Morsleeb. So I like this army quite a bit. He does have the Chaos Chariot, so just one. And I figure he's like, you know what? I need something to micro, so let's just get a chariot so I can have something to do while my army is fighting. But, oh, actually a very big contingent of Marauder Horsemen, a couple groups of Poison Warhounds, and yeah, Chaos Sorcerer Lord with a Fireball and the Cascading Firecloak. So basically he's just going to sit this thing above the Cygor and just shoot fireballs at it all day until it dies, which is pretty funny. So that is a heavy metal Chaos army. That is a lot of infantry. And for the armies of forces, and how's the lighting, by the way? Yeah, how did he afford all this? Don't ask questions, just accept it. And for the forces of Romulan Dog, Actually, man, these Ungors are pretty brutal here. So he does have a front line of Ungor Spearman herds with shields, a secondary line of, so just a very weak infantry corps, but he's going to be trying to win with chariots and like summoning Cygors. So he does have Malagor the Dark Omen here in the back, who's going to be summoning Cygors. In the forest, he's got Centaurs with great weapons, as well as Chaos Warhounds with poison. A couple groups of Harpies up here in the sky. The Eye of Moorsleep Minotaurs with great weapons, which do very well against armor. You don't want them to be in sustained combat because they do have low, 32 melee defense as well as low armor, but good stuff there. And then more Centaurs with great weapons, I would imagine. So it's going to be very micro-intensive for Romulan Dog here, but he could potentially pull apart the forces of Soothsayer, but the Marauder Horsemen are going to be so good against Harpies and against Minotaurs and against the Cygor, but the Cygor has good targets. I mean, Chaos Warriors are definitely good targets here. Yeah, this is going to be a cockfight, guys. This is going to be a cockfight indeed. But I don't know. That's a lot of Chaos Infantry to deal with. And I mean, the Beastmen don't really have much. He's going to need to get a ton of value out of this Razor Gore Chariot. And the Centaurs with great weapons, they have relative free range. But, even though they do have good AP, they're still not going to like massacre, Chaos Infantry. But Malagor, there's at least going to be one more Cygor. He might even summon 2 if the game does go long enough. In the back, it looks like he does have more Centaurs with great weapons hidden. So maybe he's thinking the Chaos will like overextend here and he can pounce. So let the guys know whenever. This is it, guys. The lads are ready. The lads are ready. They are indeed. Told the guys to start whenever they're ready, but the Eye of Moorsleep definitely going to bring some utility. He does have a snare, but really there's not much to snare for the Warriors of Chaos. Like, I mean, the best use of that in this matchup will be probably snaring down like a group of, let's say, Marauder Horsemen and letting your Centaurs catch them, or if the Chariot's running a little bit rampant. But the Beastmen have plenty of answers against the Chariot. So, first things first, the Eye of Moorsleep is going to be dropping some bombs from deep, probably going to be going after Chaos Warriors. There's no Chosen here. It's just standard Chaos Warriors with great weapons, which are going to be really, really scary. That is a lot of infantry. So the first boulder coming in, a wild spinning boulder, just crashing into those Chaos Warriors, doing some pretty decent damage there. Definitely not bad at all, taking out a couple models. And yeah, battle is underway right now. So the forces are moving forward here. The Marauder Horsemen are also moving. Looks like, no, they're just going to be sitting back for now. So another boulder coming in right to those Chaos Warriors, and boom, just decking them. So getting some massive value right now. So this is definitely very solid so far. If you can get these guys down to like 20% before the fighting starts, and then just switch on to another group, that would be really good. So the Harpies are going to be flying over, taking some fire from the Marauder Horsemen, but they are giving some pretty good chase. And Romulan Dog, looks like is he going to spring his ambush? Looks like he decides to pull back, actually. So these Ungor Raiders definitely going to be in a little bit of trouble. The Chariots are coming in. They're going to run through these spears relatively easily. No, they actually get held up by those spearmen, but the Chaos Infantry are just going to monster mash those guys. So the boulders continuing to rain in. Really good accuracy, tearing apart these guys. Centaur's pushing in, but Soothsayer can simply just fall back to his Chaos Warriors and some of these other troops and everything. So yeah, a little bit tough here. This is getting a little bit wild, guys. So the Chariots are for the Beastmen are doing a pretty good job so far. These Chaos Warriors are just getting ravaged. This group of Chariots running through, a little bit limp there in the back, but the Minotaurs with great weapons coming in as well. Nice little cinematic tumble as they get into those Chaos Warriors. I don't know, there are some Hounds, but if you can screen out those, but yeah, those throwing weapons do really good. But then another cycle charge coming in from Romulan, so he gets a great charge against these Chaos Warriors, really taking advantage of the charge bonus of the Beastmen. Over here, the Spearmen do have these Chaos Chariots kind of pinned down. These Harpies need to get back in the battlefield for sure. They need to fly back over here and do some work. And a Fireball going down on Malagor instead of the Eye of Moorsleep. So the Beastmen have like kind of a multi-tiered line here. Definitely doing pretty well, but there's so many Chaos Forces still kind of piling in. The Razor Gore Chariot is kind of left to its own devices, and it does kind of get taken out here, which is really unfortunate. That's like 1,000 gold. Very, very tough stuff. These Poison Hounds need to get through. If they could slip through this gap and get on those Marauder Horsemen, I think that could potentially, get the game going for them. Over here, it looks like the Chaos Chariot is still in pretty good shape. I mean, it's fighting spears, but they don't have good AP. The Centaurs with great weapons and the Minotaurs doing a combined charge against these Chaos Warriors. Definitely getting some pretty good value. Eye of Moorsleep is in good shape. Just going to be kiting right now. A second Cygor has been summoned. It's throwing some fat boulders at the Chaos Warriors, and the Eye of Moorsleep here is running. Maybe this Razor Gore Chariot could come back. If it did, and could then run through the Mirror Guard, that would be really, really nice. So, over here, the Minotaurs and the Centaurs are able to break the Chaos Warriors. So this flank actually going very well for the Beastmen. Harpies are able to catch some of those Marauder Horsemen, are actually fighting and might be able to get some huge value over there. So if these guys can come collapse these Chaos Warriors, maybe, I'm eager to see which way they go. But the Beastmen front line, obviously pretty much just chaff. But the Eye of Moorsleep is actually kiting those guys. He used the Warp Gaze to slow down the Mirror Guard, which is pretty solid. But Mirror Guard are actually really fast. They have 38 move speed. So more charges coming into the front line, but there are halberds here, so he needs to be careful. Just pull those guys back ASAP. He leaves them in for a second, but it looks like he's going to be trying to pull them back right now, but they're actually staying, which is going to be really tough. I mean, the Chaos Infantry are just inexorable. They're just pushing. They're just swarming. There's still a bunch of halberds. Another great boulder right into the face of those Mirror Guard, but I don't know. This is a lot of stuff going on here. So the Harpies are just chasing down the Chaos Sorcerer. In the back, the Minotaurs with Great Weapons are going to be cleaving these chariots. Definitely a very good use of the Minotaurs here, I would say. Yeah, I would say it's going pretty good. The Chaos Warhounds with Poison swarming in as well. He definitely wants to get those guys back there. But this is a great pick for Romulan Dog. He's able to get those chariots. If he can break them here, they're probably going to just go off the battlefield. So, but this huge Chaos Blob is just pushing forward. There's so many troops. He needs to start running Malagor the Dark Omen because he's going to get caught up in this fight and he's not going to be happy about that. So Cascading Fire Cloak goes down there. But that could have been really bad. The Chaos Lord almost got caught. Another Cygor coming down. So Romulan Dog with the second Cygor summon. Certainly going to give him a little bit of stopping power here. This one Cygor is still throwing boulders into that blob of Chaos Warriors. The Eye of Moorsleep is going to be running. Minotaurs with Great Opens having some really effective cycle charging here. And this looks to be a pretty close fight. The balance of power for all of you guys who can't see it because of my stream overlay, it's actually pretty much dead even in the middle. No clear winner, but that's largely due to the fact that there is a summoned Cygor. The Beastmen, I would say, are a little bit behind in the overall kind of a way of things here. So Malagor being roasted by another fireball. It looks like the Chaos Sorcerer with the Lord of Fire is going to be jumping on Malagor, doing some damage on the initial charge. And the Minotaurs with Great Opens nowhere to be seen nearby. The Beastmen trying to rally here in the back. This Cygor creating some distance, so this could actually be really good. A lot of the Chaos Forces are really tattered. I mean, maybe Romulan Dog's going to pull out this game 1 upset here. The Razorgore Chariot, or the Chaos Chariot, is coming back, unfortunately. And also that Chaos Lord does get smacked with the Warp Gaze, and then the Harpies swarm in as well. But the Minotaurs with Great Weapons are trapped. They still have 12 models, but they're stuck fighting Halberds. If they can get out of here and start like picking off some of the Chaos Forces on the wings, they do not want to be fighting here. This is a rough situation. The Halberds are going to be able to kind of just shank them down, and you can see a lot of the Minotaurs are falling and breaking. Very, very tough stuff there. But the Eye of Moorsleep is pretty good in melee itself. Beastmen still have a lot of scattered stuff all over the map, though. But look at these Marauder Horsemen and Poison Warhounds for Chaos. They're going to be able to easily take down this Cygor right here, which is going to be tough. In the meantime, Chaos Warhounds with the Poison as well as Centaurs are chasing these guys down. But look at this massive pack of Chaos Warhounds. It's going to be swarming in, getting a rear charge here. And this is probably going to spell doom for this Beastmen contingent right here. So as far as the main fight over in the forest goes, the Minotaurs are kiting backwards. The last of the Ungors are fighting. There's a couple Raiders here that are still shooting, but for the most part, Malagor is a little bit exposed here in the back. You can see the Chaos Sorcerer with Lord of Fire. It's just going to be chasing him down with a massive erection, but I don't know if he's going to be able to catch him. It's a little bit hard to say, but Malagor running away with his Minotaur protection. There is so much Chaos Infantry, and the Beastmen forces, they have a decent pocket here. They're actually able to break off those hounds. It looks like we're going to have some doggo on doggo action, some Michael Vick stuff going on here. Over here, you can see the Chaos Warhounds with Poison are also going to be chasing down the Marauder Horsemen, but there's just like everywhere you look, there's just pockets of thick, angry Chaos Infantry. So the Boulder coming in, looks like he has switched the Cygors to go after the Marauder Horsemen. A direct hit on those guys. This ML Major League Baseball Cygor right here doing a pretty good job. Another Fireball coming down on Malagor, and that decks him. That did some huge damage. And the Minotaurs are having trouble protecting him because of the Overwatch fire, but I don't know. Malagor might go here, guys. That might be it. Harpies still are chasing down the Chaos Lord. I don't know. This is looking a little bit tough for the Beastmen because the bounce of power is dead even right now. But as this Cygor starts to disappear, because it is a summoned unit, it's really going to kind of change the battle. Right here, the Eye of Moorsleep is stomping the yard, doing some pretty good work. Another Boulder coming in, doing huge damage against the Chaos Warriors here, as well as the Mirror Guard. So just absolute value coming in from these summoned Cygors. But nonetheless, I don't think they're going to have enough, and I think this is spelling the beginning of the end for the Beastmen. Malagor the Dark Omen is broken off the battlefield. The Minotaurs are trying their best to fight. He's done a great job, but another Fireball coming in and creating a little bit of a Thanksgiving turkey out of Malagor. Definitely not fun, but there's just so much Chaos Infantry. This has been a great game by both players, though. Very, very back and forth for sure. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it, I think. The Cygors are kind of giving out. They put up a great fight, did some really good work, but yeah, here comes another Boulder into those Chaos Warriors with Halberds. His Minotaur micro was very good this game, but unfortunately they didn't have any Shaggots to go after, so they were kind of just fighting infantry, which the shielded variant is much better at. So yeah, that's gonna be game 1 for our boy Soothsayer. Looking like a repeat of the Ever Chosen so far, but again, this is only game 1. Everything's gonna shatter off the battlefield, and that is gonna be it. That is gonna be it. Hey, take care, Crazy C4. Thanks for watching, man. Yeah, these are some games, all right. So that was a really good game. Let me go ahead and update the scoreboard here real quick. So we are going up. Soothsayer is the blue team score. Look at this. Technology, baby. Technology 101. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We're trying to get back into the game. Hopefully it doesn't crash right now. I mean, if it crashes, now's the time for it to crash, if anything. Did it crash? Might have crashed. Okay, let me check something. 1 second here. Okay, just checking the message. Yeah, I got to restart the game real quick. So let me go ahead and message everyone here in Discord. Let them know that I got to restart here. Make sure your unit sizes are. Yeah, my game crashed, unfortunately. We'll be back in just a second, guys. My apologies. My apologies. Yeah, it looks like it's still going there, but come on, Warhammer 2. You can do it. I believe in you. So, yeah, this happens occasionally. The client locks up when I like minimize the switch thing. So I actually have to force quit it, and that could potentially crash OBS sometimes. So if it does, I'll restart the stream right away. But yeah, Warhammer's not responding. Okay. Let's see if that works. I think we're good now. Yeah, we're good. Okay. I didn't have to restart anything. That's happened to me before where I've had to like restart the stream and everything, so. What is this, that guy? What are you talking about? Nobody panic. Calm down. Speaking of the Gopnik thing, I can actually do a really good Slav squat. Like, I have perfect form. Warhammer crashed again? Come on, Warhammer. Get your business together. Don't worry, guys. We'll get back into the rhythm of things here in a minute. Oh, okay. It actually worked. Okay, great. We're in. It's just magic. We're joining up. Let me make sure. I know I told him to rehost the game, so yeah. Okay, we're good. Let me go ahead and check Discord. Hopefully it doesn't crash again when I go there. Great. So, Romulan Dog is now going to be taking Chaos against Bretonia. So Bretonia is just getting a ton of like representation here in these tournaments. Just absolutely very, very popular. So, Alec, if you go and like just go to Google and type in like squatting Slav, and you'll see like the meme. It's just like, yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. 10,000 likes and you'll buy me a tracksuit. Yeah, the bar up top is blocking the bounce of power, but I'm going to change it for next week. Right now, I'd have to go into like Photoshop, delete that, like re-add it. It would be a little bit annoying, so we're just going to keep it. But the bounce of power isn't like, I mean, I can narrate it to you guys and tell you anyway, so. No, I don't miss leg days. As a matter of fact, I was a sprinter in college and a running back in high school, so I got me strong legs. Yeah. Hey, no, these tournaments are going to be every Sunday, so big thanks to you guys for joining. I'm trying my best to get different people in every week. And we'll always invite back like the winners, so whoever wins this, we'll invite them back next week. We'll, of course, invite back the Gabo King, and if he wants to play, and we'll get some new faces in as well, so yeah. Yeah, the screen sniper. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, I trust these guys. Hopefully they're not stream sniping, but I don't think he's going to change this army, actually. He's changing it right now, so it's not going to be what you think it is. All right, guys, we got 801 people. We just need 14 more likes. And the reason why everyone's asking for likes is because one of the kind gentlemen on the stream earlier said he would donate a fat amount if we got to 500, which is great because the competitors get 25% too. So I'm going to get some water, guys. I put him up. I was just a little slow on it. It's so hot. It's so hot in there. Ugh. Maybe when we get to like you want Italian Spartacus to join? You know, I think we might do one where it's going to be like a YouTuber special, where we just get like people who might not be the highest level like tournament players like these gentlemen, but we just have like just a couple like YouTubers who will just bring like steam tanks and stuff. Because the thing is when there's a prize pool, People tend to bring the competitive builds, right? So we've done it. Let the boy watch. 520 likes, baby. Hopefully he's still here. If not, yeah, let's see. We'll see if Farragon is still here. If not, no worries. But regardless, we still got there, guys. It's still an accomplishment, win or lose. Yeah, so guys, a lot of people are complaining, like, why don't we get high elves? Well, we are getting high elves. This is going to be a showdown between Soothsayer and Romulan, of course, for anyone joining. Soothsayer is currently up 1-0, and the high elves are going to be fighting the Warriors of Chaos. I'm really excited to see what Soothsayer does. Yeah. Tyler, what did I miss? Did I miss something on PayPal? Let me check. If I did, my apologies. The PayPal one doesn't have the same notification. I got to check the back end, so let me go ahead and check. So we did get a donation on... Yeah, we got a donation on PayPal from Danielle for $20. So thank you so much. We got one for $2 as well from Ines. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for your generous donations over there on PayPal. We will add those into the tally for the competitors. Hey, Alexander and Dov, thank you guys for the donations as well. Professor Pipes, streaming over there on Twitch. Quick battles if you guys want to see him.
Spicy meat. Yeah, boy.
Farragon. Damn, dude. Holy shit. Farragon 77. The fat, erect. Coming through with his word. $200 donation. I hope you're like a doctor or something, or like someone where that's an insignificant amount of money. But thank you, dude. Or a Saudi prince. Any number of things. I'm cool with it. Thank you, man. Farragon's song will be sung for generations. We shall feast like the heathen kings of old. I can now feed my dog. There's a fat prize pool now. We're like getting up to like Ever Chosen prize money. Thank you so much, dude. Holy shit. That is freaking awesome. All right, guys, there's pretty big stakes. Let me let the guys know. Guys, we had another $200 donation. Stakes are high. Our boy Farragon came through. The only crappy part about doing YouTube is like, and having your own business essentially, is you have to pay all your own like medical expenses and like your insurance. But yeah, this definitely helps. So thank you so much. That guy coming in with the 50 euros, Turin in Hag's yoga pants and rub them into what's going on? Did I miss something? Farragon, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, boy.
The girlfriend's going to give you the people's elbow. I just imagine Farragon on the ground and just the people's elbow coming in. Oh my god. Wow. And guys, another erect donation coming in. Holy shit. So 2,000 crowns there is actually $200.
Give your meat a good old rub.
That is insane.
That's it. Nice and
That
hot.
is insane. No, it's $200. Yeah, it's not $2,000.
Yeah, boy.
Thank you so much, man. Jesus. All right. I hope Soothsayer and Romulan are aware of this. They're competing for a lot of money now. No, it's actually 200, I think. Yeah. Damn. By Sigmar. Can I sing? Not really. So we have Salsa Fish Carnage. Were you the gentleman who was asking me to eat take that challenge of eating that really disgusting like rotten fish? I feel like I might have to now because of that donation. Maybe we'll do that on stream. Just for you. That guy with the 50 euros turning yoga pants. I don't know if we can make that happen. It'd have to be a lot more than that. Farragon 77. Damn, dude. You guys are killing it. Oh, it's actually Bretonia. I thought it was High Elves. Okay, so we switched back to Bretonia. So we're going to have Bretonia versus Chaos. Yeah. Holy shit. Thank you guys so much. This is absolute insanity. I don't think these guys know quite how much is at stake now for them. I bet Gobbo King is wishing he played today now. Oh, man. Thank you, guys. That's crazy. Do you guys want me to take the challenge where I have to eat the Swedish fish that's like super disgusting? I'll do it on stream. Maybe I'll like put some for me and for Wookie and we'll just both do it. I'll just put on yoga pants and go sprinting at the track, and you guys can see. I'll just pull my hamstring, just fall over. Wookiee in yoga pants? Jesus Christ. All right, guys. I forgot we're actually here for a battle, so thank you guys so much. Again, I really appreciate it. That is goddamn huge. I know Gobble King wanted a nap today. I don't blame him. He's been working out hard, getting fit, doing some work. All right. So for the forces of Soothsayer, he's going to be playing Bretonnia. Definitely a pretty massive advantage for the Warriors of Chaos in this matchup, in my opinion. But, of course, Soothsayer, one of the best players in the world here. Combination of Men-at-Arms and Foot Squires in the front. Foot Squires can trade okay, especially with a little bit of support from Life Magic. Yes, they will lose to Great Weapons, but they can put a dent in things at least. And, of course, you can't have numbers. In the secondary line, a massive firing line of the Peasant Bowmen. Probably going to be using all 4 of those to just pick on Kolek, which is going to be pretty wild. And also, guys, Royal Hippogriff Knights coming out for Soothsayer. So this is a unit that... Sorry, I was reading the comment about the stinky fish. Royal Hippogriff Knights here, heavy armor piercing. I mean, if they're able to get on Chaos Warriors and like Chaos Infantry, they can wreck shop. But the problem with them is Shaggus can take them out fairly quickly, and they kind of have trouble like pulling out once they get in. That's what she said. So a little bit of a risk there. And Knight Errant's here, pretty decent little shot cav. Not going to like do a ton of work, but just for cycle charging. If he's really good at cycle charging, you can just pull them in and out, in and out. They can net some value and give him mobility. He's got a life caster in the back. He has King Lewin up in the sky with the Sword of Corone, and some more Knight Errants on the far side. So going to be putting a ton of value in these Royal Hippogriff Knights. He really needs them to do some heavy lifting. And for the forces of Romulan Dog, fairly standard. Looks like he does have a Shaggoth. He has Kolek, which is pretty much the go-to. Spirit Leech and Aspect of the Dread Knight. He has some Chaos Warhounds. A combination of Halberds on the flanks. Chaos Warriors, and the double Meme Cannon. So he has a Hell Cannon as well as the Soul of Damnation. No, just double Hell Cannon. Okay, with Halberds. So this is going to be tough for Bretonnia. The double Shaggus are really going to monster mash those up, but the Foot Squires might be able to overwhelm this formation, in all honesty. Like, I don't know if Chaos has enough to deal with those guys. So, we'll see how it goes, guys, but that's pretty much it. Hey, Lady Turin coming in with the $5 donation. Thanking all of you guys. Hey, thank you. Thank you, darling. Just goes right back into our pocket. All right. Yeah, Farragon, we do, but it's the gesture. Yeah. All right, so looks like the battle's underway. The forces of Bretonnia are going to be moving forward. I feel like the double Hell Cannon is not going to be good here. That is risky business, because the Bretonnian forces are just going to close the gap so quick, and the Peasant Archers are going to melt those Hell Cannons. Like, melt them. Hell Cannons have 30 armor. So why aren't they shooting yet? There they go. Okay, so the first Hell Cannon shots are underway. They're going to need to ravage those Bretonnian Archers. Oh, but is he manually aiming those? No way. Okay, so they go in and make pretty good contact with the Foot Squires. I might actually just shoot the Peasant Bowmen, or maybe shoot at the Foot Squires until the fighting starts and then switch them onto the Peasant Bowmen. Maybe he wants to scoot up his forces as well to try and like pull the fighting away from the Hell Cannons, but yeah, getting some pretty good shots in. The first shot doing well, that shot, man, these Foot Squires are actually getting their salad tossed pretty hard, so he's making me eat my words a little bit with the double Hell Cannons. They're dropping the boom. 20% explosion, as well as some more armor piercing damage. So here they come, another shot here. A relatively, speaking of direct hit here, the Foot Squire is still advancing, so he's spreading the love across the front line. He only hits 2 models there, so I don't know. The Royal Hippogriff Knights, it's really going to come down to how effective they can be. The Foot Squires or the Knight Errant shouldn't be too hard to deal with Halberds, but no Fata Buna, so Fata Buna isn't going to be there, but Fata Buna wouldn't have even been that good here. I think the abilities he has are a little bit better. So those Foot Squires just getting destroyed by the Hell Cannons, just raining some hot holy fire down, switching onto the Peasant Bowmen, and yeah, this Bretonnian army is looking very tattered. I mean, arguably, if these guys cost like 650, there's about 200 gold off each of these right now, so they've made probably about 1,000 gold back so far, and the battle's like just underway. So the Peasant Bowmen in the back who've taken the direct shots, getting relatively close to routing here, which is a little bit dangerous. On the far side, you could see a Spirit Leech going down on the Knight Errants. Not a bad idea. I mean, I would probably save it for the Royal Hippogriff Knights, but yeah, still getting a little bit of work done. He probably has a ton of wins of magic anyways. So King Louis thinking about maybe dive bombing here, but the Shaggus plus the Deathcaster are definitely going to force him off. This Bretonnian army is thick, though. And once those Peasant Bowmen do get online, look at the angle on that thing, just wrecking those Foot Squires. Once the Peasant Bowmen do get close, they're going to do a ton of damage against the what's it called, the Hell Cannons. So the Peasant Bowmen still getting wrecked pretty hard here. It's looking a little bit grim for Soothsayer, but I think once he gets the tip in, he might be okay. The Chaos Warriors are going to be engaging in the front line. The Shaggoth is going to be going in solo. King Lewin might go after the Shaggoth. Romulan Dog immediately sees that there's focus fire on this Dragon Ogre. He pulls it back, very veteran play there. He does also send his hounds in to kind of slow these guys and slow the roll of the Bretonnian advance. The Royal Hippogriff Knights, he definitely wants to get these and have them go after Chaos Warriors with great weapons. That's going to be the ideal situation. So the Hound's still playing very defensively, maybe going to use those against the Knight Errants. The Halberds should probably nook up against this terrain right here, and you can see they're going to turn about face here to face those guys. King Louis actually going after Kolek, but the Chaos Warriors just mashing those guys here. Right here, the Chaos Warriors are doing well. A very solid defensive formation for Romulan Dog. And the Peasant Archers are all but destroyed. I mean, there's one group here, there's one group over here, but so far, it's looking to be quite a cockfight. I think that Romulan Dog has a slight advantage. I mean, these Shaggas are just doing so much work. The Chaos Infantry are holding relatively well, and a very good Spirit Leech going down. So Spirit Leech on the Royal Hippogriff Knights is going to be a pretty effective way to deal with them. And this is what I'm talking about. They always have trouble like getting out. Like one of them gets stuck on the ground and takes a little bit more damage. The Knight Errants over here with some cycle charging. The Shaggoth, of course, is bolstering the ranks, but the Foot Squires do cut through Halberds pretty effectively, and the Chaos Warriors on this side are able to do pretty well. Souls of Damnation, or Hell Cannons, goddamn, are still tearing apart these Peasant Bowmen, so he's probably going to start switching. Yeah, he's just taking out the Bowmen, which is very, very good play. So, Shaggoths are in good shape. It looks like a massive Alpha Strike coming in. So right here, Kolek, Lewin plus the Royal Hippogriff Knights just dive in there after Kolek. The Sword of Corone going down. Scroll of Shielding, though, coming down from the Deathcaster, so some give and take. The Shaggoths definitely doing a little bit of work, I guess. I mean, yeah, it looked like they actually mostly missed those attacks, but the Bretonnian Knights just piling in. These Halberds need to stay back here and defend the Hell Cannons, and the Hell Cannons need to probably just switch onto these Foot Squires right here. So he needs to get back here and defend these guys. Oh, this could be huge damage. Those Foot Squires just melted those Knights. That was absolutely devastating, and it looks like Romulan Dog might be at an advantage here. It's hard to tell, but very good play by Soothsayer, staying committed, getting those Knight Errants back and shutting down those two Hell Cannons temporarily, of course. So over here, Kolek and company look to be holding. These Chaos Halberds just massive value from those bad boys. And over here, these Royal Hippogriff Knights not doing so well. The Chaos Halberds are just kind of holding them at bay here. Foot Squires are going to be engaging as well, but yeah, the Chaos Infantry are just like on another like level of power. Plus there's also a Deathcaster supporting, but they're going to be charging back in, potentially doing some pretty decent little shock damage. I would feel like Royal Hippogriff Knights just like never pay for themselves. So if we look at the overall battlefield, there are a fair amount of Bretonnian forces, but those Hell Cannons just annihilated those Peasant Archers, which you could tell that Soothsayer was relying on those guys to really drag down the Hell Cannons, but they weren't able to. And now the Hell Cannons, one of them's back online. They're both back online, it looks like. Yeah, that is tough. And Romulan, very, very disciplined, is going to be sending his Chaos Warriors with Halberds back there to defend, make sure the Knight Errants can't get any more freebies. And that Hell Cannon, a direct hit right there on these Knight Errants, just brutal stuff. The Dragon Ogre Shaggas, I mean, Lewin doesn't have enough stopping power. I mean, Kolek is just so much stronger than Lewin in a straight-up dueling situation. Plus, he has a Kolek Jr. here. There's a Deathcaster for the Spirit Leeches. Although it looks like he has kept the Royal Hippogriff Knights in decent shape. Some of the Men-at-Arms have pushed in on the Halberds in the back line. Some Peasant Archers are now coming back into the fight. So they're starting to shoot and kind of wear down on things. Another Spirit Leech going down on the Knight Errants there. But yeah, this is just a bloody fight. But oh, from the back with the steel chair come the Knight Errants. The Knight Errants charge into the back of that Hell Cannon. Chaos Warriors rushing back there to help, as well as the double Dragon Ogres. But yeah, I don't think... I mean, you can see the bounce of power, well, you guys can't see. The bounce of power is being pulled like back and forth in the middle. It was heavily in the favor of Romulan, but now it's dead in the middle again. Soothsayer has done a very good job rallying and picking off a lot of Chaos forces, but I don't think he has enough power to stop Kolek. I really don't. And the two Hell Cannons, unlike other cannon crews, are actually unbreakable. So yeah, they're going to be able to just, even if they get knocked over, they're not going to like run away like other cannon crews and get picked off. So a bit of intrinsic value there. There are some Foot Squires down here fighting against the cannon crews, but the Chaos Dwarves are quite a resolute people just holding. Kolek has to pull back in the air. The Royal Hippogriff Knights have to pull back. And now the Hell Cannons are back online. So if Chaos can just secure the Hell Cannons, they can just sit and blast the last of these archers to pieces. You can see over here, these Peasant Archers taking a Hell Cannon shot right there to the face. Definitely a little bit ugly. But yeah, it's a pretty close battle. Balance of power though now is pretty heavily in the favor of Chaos. I would say it's about 40%. 40% there with Chaos being in the advantageous position. Just cleaning up the Foot Squires, cleaning up the last of the Knights. A couple of the Knight Errants on the periphery are shattering. The Royal Hippogriff Knights and company are going to pick off these Halberds, which is a good play. They also have a Damsel of Lore of Life who's been keeping them topped off. And the Royal Hippogriff Knights have only lost one model this entire game, so that's pretty cool. But the Hell Cannon, oh, that Hell Cannon with a direct hit, plus the Spirit Leech doing a ton of damage. And the Royal Hippogriff Knights are rapidly approaching their healing gap here. And now the Warriors of Chaos have re-secured their Hell Cannon position. Those bad boys are still firing. Has not been like a moment, except like a couple of seconds in this battle in which they haven't been online. So just beautiful stuff right here. Here comes the Soul of Damnation shot. God, it's not the Soul of Damnation. The Hell Cannon. I'm so used to seeing that one. But it comes in there. A direct hit on Lewin. Or actually, no, that was actually friendly fire on the Dragon Ogre. And yeah, I think that's going to be game, guys. I don't know what Soothsayer can do here. So we got a series on our hands. We got a series. This is just absolutely insane. The Hell Cannon shot's coming in. Oh, and it's a direct hit right there on those guys. Just absolutely monstrous. The Royal Hippogriff Knights They still have 5 of their 6
Give
models,
me
so
a
they're still at full combat capacity, but from these shots, they're probably going to lose. Oh, look at that swerve on that! Oh, man, just picking those guys off. That's like straight up Tokyo Drift on those fireballs. That is just insane. Oh, man, Hell Cannons are so good. I mean, we saw them in the Ever Chosen doing a ton of work. He breaks them, then he Spirit Leeches them, and the birds are just falling out of the sky. Just beautiful play by Romulan Dog here. Just fighting tooth and nail, just wanting vengeance for the Ever Chosen. King Lewin is still alive, but yeah, Bretonia's done for, guys. I don't think there's anything else they can do. Man, this is... I almost want to cast this one separately. Like, this is such a cool game. We got to see Royal Hippogriff Knights. I don't know if Soothsayer was memeing a little bit or if he's used them to success, but I've just never seen the Hippogriff Knights pay for themselves for 2,000 gold. Another Hell Cannon shot, decking them, putting them down to 800 HP. There is a regrowth going off here. The Damsel coming in as well, but the Sorcerer's coming. Chaos is just charging. Hell Cannons are out of ammo now. So, yeah, no, there's no way. Kolek and company, I mean, basically what's going to happen is all the Bretonian forces on the ground are going to break off, and then it's just going to be a leadership issue. Some of the peasant archers have come back. Hell Cannons are indeed finally out of ammunition, but not before generating just godlike value here this game. Yeah, he made that build work. I'm so happy with these flash tournaments we've been having. We've been getting some really, really good games here. So, the Bretonian Air Force, thinking about maybe trying to snipe Kolek. I mean, that's pretty much their only chance. If they could kill Kolek, they could win, but I don't think that's going to be possible here. Royal Hippogriff Knights are just so beat up, and they switch, and they're just going to start clubbing all over King Lewin. Yeah, King Louis is not having a good time here. The Deathcaster's in there as well, and Chaos Casters, unlike casters from other factions, are actually very strong. They have pretty good combat stats, 42 melee attack on that guy, and 300 plus weapon strength with pretty good armor. They're able to terror out the Damsel Floor of Life. Lewin just takes a world beating. It's only a matter of seconds here before the balance of power does shift into army losses with about 20% left for Soothsayer here. Some Chaos Infantry pushing forward. The Hell Cannons have been abandoned for the most part. Some good cycle charging here from Soothsayer, really trying to claw his way back into the game. But Kolek is just, he's going to swiggity-swooty. He's not having any of that. He pulls back and pulls him into Kolek Jr. He's going to turn and start clubbing. And as soon as he gets like 1 or 2 more attacks, it's probably going to be army losses. Chaos Warriors with Great Weapons marching through the marsh here, able to cleave these men-at-arms, these brave sons of Bretonia. Alas, their king has pretty much fallen, and he breaks through to army losses. So what a game. What a damn game. So Farragon, another 2 donations from Farragon. We got to get Turin his robot arm. It's literally the only thing I care about. And then another $20 donation. That'd be awesome. We're taking me to Japan tomorrow, and I can never catch a stream when I'm working. So I got to do what I got to do to keep this content around. Thank you, man. Thanks.
I just promised him some evenings tailored specifically for his evening time.
All right, cool.
Would be nice.
Yeah, sure. All right, thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys. Sure, thank you, baby. That was a great game. That was amazing. So let me go ahead and update the scoreboard. Romulan Dog coming in and tying up the series 1-1. Outstanding. So yeah, thank you so much, Farragon. Again, for the 100th time. Soothsayer, Romulan Dog did have the high ground there. Yeah. Yeah, I actually used to watch Husky StarCraft. That was one of the first times I wanted to like get into YouTubing. You know, I was like, oh, maybe I could do this. Maybe. But, I mean, Total War isn't quite as big as StarCraft, but, so kind of just future plans for the channel. There will always be, I got to make sure Steven Seagal's up. Hold on. So future plans for the channel, I will always be doing Total War content. So I'll be covering 3 Kingdoms, future Warhammer title, pretty much anything they're doing, as long as there's multiplayer in it. For 3 Kingdoms, there's probably going to be a bit more of a focus on multiplayer. Campaign, like head-to-head campaign. So I'm going to be trying to do a lot of head-to-head campaigns because it has a lot of fun mechanics for that. And then Age of Empires 4, when that comes out, I'll be covering the multiplayer for that quite extensively. I'll be doing Mount and Blade Warband. I'll be doing that quite a bit. So you guys will be seeing Mount and Blade Warband, both multiplayer as well as the campaigns on that. So there's going to be a lot of good stuff coming to the channel in the future. So, and Magic the Gathering. I'll continue to do Arena casually on the side. So there's going to be a little bit of something for everyone, hopefully. Yeah. It's over till Axeland. Amazing game. That was those Hell Cannons wrecked me, saying GG, well played. Those Hell Cannons were just the destroyers of worlds. So Zach, the stream is going to go until we get to, it's a best of 5. We had 2 best of 3s initially, so this could potentially go for another 30, 40 minutes. Oh, I'm going to go full-on erection for Mountain Blade Bannerlord. We shall fight in the fields of China. We shall. I don't know when Mountain Blade comes out. Whenever it comes out, hopefully I'll still be alive. No, I haven't played Gwent. I've heard it's quite good. I'm gonna be Elder Scrolls. I don't know. I don't know. I prefer games with multiplayer in them. I mean, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Day 9 as well. I used to watch StarCraft 2. I was a pretty good StarCraft 2 player. I was Masters League in StarCraft. I played Protoss and Terran mostly. I think Mountain Blade will probably come out in 2020, I would imagine. That's kind of my prediction here. Hell yeah, I'm going to play Bannerlord. Are you kidding me? Anna does play stuff on her channel, John Boom, That Evil Hag. She plays games on there. She'll be doing live streams too. Yeah, there's some good Mountain Blade mods right now. I mean, would you guys want to see? Interested in that? Maybe I'll do that in the community section, like see. But it looks like Beastmen vs. Chaos, which is a pretty fun matchup for sure. Warpstone Mine. Sorry. I gave them the wrong map. Yeah, well, Johan, I've had my wrist problem since 2011, 2010. When I first had it, I had like, I forget what the doctor called it, but I had like a severe, like, I went from like, so basically I was like exercising 5 days a week, doing bench press, pull-ups. I used to be able to do like 30 or 40 pull-ups. I could bench press like 280 pounds. I was running college track. I was like the healthiest I'd ever been, but I was riding a motorcycle with a stiff clutch. I was working out every single day for like hours. I'd come home in game for like 6 hours. And then, so one day my hand felt a little funny and I was like, I was very fit at the time. I was like, oh yeah, like it's nothing serious. And then the next day I woke up and both my hands were just shaking. I was like, what the hell is this? And for like a good year, like I couldn't do anything. For the first like 3 or 4 months, like holding this glass of water would have been excruciatingly painful. Like something in my tendons just gave out in both of my hands. So for like a year and a half, I couldn't really play computer games. I couldn't do much of anything. I was like pretty crippled. It was really rough. Eventually I started to get back a little bit, and then I was able to start playing StarCraft, and yeah, and then it like went up and got better, and then it started to go down again recently and get worse. So that's why I'm really pursuing the whole doctors thing. Yeah, we'll get back to Warcraft 3. It's just I've been trying my best to just pump out Warcraft content and everything. Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was weird because I was like very fit and strong, and then all of a sudden that happened, and like the whole right side of my body atrophied. My right shoulder, my right bicep, my right pec muscle all like shrunk, and the left side was still all jacked because my left side's healthy. It was so weird. Yeah. Anyways, I tell this story all the time, but that's kind of the way of things. So yeah, this last game looks like it's going to be vampire count. Okay, I'm glad they changed because I wanted to see some different factions, but Soothsayer is coming in with the vampire counts, and Romulan Dog is going to be playing Dark Elves. You have a pretty good matchup here. This is like this is a good matchup. Yeah, that's not fun, Ultimate Techie. Yeah, as a matter of fact, the motorcycle I used to ride was so if any of you guys want to see the motorcycle I used to ride, it was a 1985 Kawasaki GPZ. So if you guys have seen, well, it's basically the same motorcycle that Tom Cruise rides in Top Gun. Yeah. Yeah, so like Tom Cruise's motorcycle in Top Gun was the one I rode. It was pretty good. But the Vampire versus Dark Elf matchup, definitely a pretty fun one to watch. Dark Elves can either go with like heavy infantry, grind down the vampires, and maybe use like, the crone. They can use like repeater crossbows. I personally am a huge fan of repeater crossbows. So basically you get repeaters, you team them up with the Doomfire Warlocks, and whenever Fellbats or any skirmishers chase your repeaters, you pick them off with the Doomfire Warlocks. You use the Soul Blight in the front line to melt the Graveguard. Your infantry can mash them. I mean, it's a good matchup. It's very intense, it's fast-paced, and it's very, very fun. So, yeah. I like it. I would say it's pretty even, actually. I don't know. This is, I don't know. I personally feel very comfortable as vampires in this matchup, but I'm not as good of a Dark Elf player. So I would say Dark Elves are one of the factions I'm not that great with. I prefer the more haggard Warhammer 1 factions. Actually, when I used to ride my motorcycle, I used to listen to Highway to the Danger Zone. Yeah. I don't have it. I sold it because when I got my wrist problem, I couldn't ride anymore. I had to give it up. FPS Russia watches my channel. I think I played him once. That's pretty cool, if he is. He was a fan, so he doesn't like me anymore, huh? I'm just joking. Yeah, it's a scary matchup for the vampires, because Dark Elves have a lot of like range stopping power that they can like pick you apart with, so honestly, it could go either way. Yeah, that last game was pretty amazing. All right, I'm going to be right back, guys. Just got to use the restroom real quick. I'm back. Okay, we're starting over. We are here with game 5. I got it. I know I was muted. Thank you, darling. Just like spill it all over me. Thanks, babe.
I didn't.
No. So we are here with game 3. It's back now. It should be back. Hold on, let me double check. Hey, you guys can hear me now. Okay. It's only a game. Why you have to be mad? It's on, right? You guys can hear me. I saw the feed. Let me know if it's still muted. Okay, good. We're fine. Okay, so for the Vampire Count's army for Shetland Soothsayer, he does have Skeleton Spearmen on the flanks. A very good choice. They're cheap. They're very effective at dealing with Cold One Riders. They can deal with Doomfire Warlocks. They can deal with Dark Riders. Just very, very good stuff there. For his main army, it's a bit of a mixed forces unit. Graveguard with great weapons to deal with Corsairs and Hargoneth Executioners, and Standard Graveguard to deal with Spearmen and Bleak Swords. He does also have a Corpse Cart here with the Unholy Lodestone to give some dank combat stats. 5 melee attack, 5 melee defense. He does have a Mortis Engine, which is pretty much a staple of competitive Vampire Counts play. Mortis Engines are like one of those things that if you don't kill them, you basically just lose if it's still alive at the end of the game. He does also have Manfred von Karstein on the Zombie Dragon, Spirit Leech, Fate of Una, Invocation, and Raise Dead. He doesn't have the Sword of Unholy Power. A bit of a strange pick there, not bringing that. It's such a good item. He does have Graveguard with great weapons, Standard Graveguard. So just a very wide, just look at this force. It like literally spans his entire deployment zone. And for the Dark Elves, he does have Slaanesha's Harvesters. So kind of similar to like how we were predicting here. It's only audio. Why you have to be mad? So you can see here he does have Slaanesha's Harvesters, Doomfire Warlocks. He does have 3 groups of Dark Riders with Repeater Crossbows. Definitely an outstanding choice. If he can protect them from zombie summons and just being chased by hounds, although there's not really any hounds for the vampires, these bad boys can definitely pick off Manfred. They can pick apart the Corpse Cart, the Mortis Engine, an amazing pick here. For his main army, it's just Bleak Swords, Dread Spears, pretty low tier stuff. You don't really need much more than that against the vampires. Although the Graveguard will lay a pounding on them, and they will win. But there are some Witch Elves as well. Witch Elves pretty good at grinding things down. They can rampage them. They have a bonus for his infantry. And if they're not taking the brunt of the damage themselves, Witch Elves very, very solid here. Cold Dawn Knights in the back to give them some anti-large armor piercing. And also for cycle charging, they're pretty good, but they can rampage into spears, so you have to be careful. But for his leadership, he does have a Supreme Sorceress with Supreme Sorceress with the Lord of Fire. And she is on top of her steed, so she's going to be faster than Manfred. And she also has Fireball and the Burning Head, all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So pretty cool. And Harpies. Harpies a bit of a counter pick to the Fellbats. So wherever the Fellbats go, the Harpies can definitely munch on them. So I like this army quite a bit from Romulan Dog. We're here with a 1-to-1 series in this finals, guys. A lot at stake. And yeah. I know, I invited Indy Pride to play today. Unfortunately, it was too short notice. I gave him 10 minutes notice, so not a fault of his own. We'll get him in future ones. So, the battle is underway, guys. We have the forces of the Vampire Counts facing off against the forces of the Dark Elves. Right out of the gates here, you can see Romulan Dog is going to be moving forward, getting ready to perhaps drop some hot fireball action on the Mortis engine, but Soothsayer does see this coming, obviously. He's going to be sending Manfred and the Fellbats to deal with that, and he could potentially just side strafe. You can dodge the fireball. It's still relatively difficult, but that is a wide Vampire Counts army. Granted, the Dark Elves have pretty good width as well, and they can form flank denials if they really want to. So the Repeater Crossbows are going to be scooting up, maybe getting a free volley on Manfred here. Manfred's a little bit slow on the Dragon, so he's going to have more trouble getting these zombies, but the first volley's off. That is a lot of crossbow bolts going into Manfred there. Unfortunately, he's able to juke, though, so against like high-level players, it's really hard to get, like, if that's like powder weaponry, it's usually going to hit, but with like bows, if you side strafe or if you're paying attention and run backwards, it often out-traces the bolts, which is a little bit tough. So their Repeater Crossbows falling back, saving their ammunition. The Mortis engine taking an extremely conservative route, literally going as far as it possibly can away from the Repeater Crossbows. The crossbows, honestly, like, I would probably just shoot at the Graveguard with great weapons too. If there's no other targets, you can work on those guys. It looks like a Spirit Leech going down on the Supreme Sorcerer is definitely not a bad choice. Repeater Crossbows get some okay shots here on Manfred, but nothing terribly punishing. And the zombies are just pushing forward. This is a pretty thick army here. I mean, he needs to conserve his ammunition because the Repeater Crossbows are, I mean, the Cold One Knights could do well. Oh, and here comes the Fireball from the Supreme Sorceress. Here comes the No-Scope. Is it going to get there? Is it going to do the damage? You guys can see the health here. 5,400. Oh, and it's following it. It's following. And how did that miss? That went right through that thing. I'm calling some nonsense there. Someone has hacked the mainframe. Anyways, the Fireball caster has fallen back. That's really unfortunate that he missed that. That looked like a direct hit. The Harpies were fighting the Fellbats, but they're actually running because of the Zombie Dragon. And I believe the Corpse Guard below is probably buffing those Fellbats. So the Slaanesha's Harvesters, the Doomfire Warlocks, thinking about getting a charge. The Dark Elves are squaring up their army. So they know they're kind of getting out-wrapped here, so it looks like they're going to be reforming ranks so they can get more optimal engagement. Harpies do engage, they get the Cascading Fire Cloak, but right when they get that really rough stuff, they actually get terrified by the Zombie Dragons. That's really unfortunate. And it looks like another Fireball coming down, so Fireball going directly in, and it does hit Manfred. So actually getting some decent damage there on old Manny Buddy. And the Repeater Crossbows are able to get some shots, but some of the zombies are reaching. It looks like a Soul Stealer going down on the zombies. I think he meant to cast that on Manfred and just misclicked, so a little bit unfortunate. And this is also a little bit sloppy, letting the Dark Riders take some damage. They lose 5 models there. Not the end of the world. They should be fine, but still not the best situation. So the Harpies have stabilized. They're shaken. They're actually now defeating the Fellbats pretty handily. The Supreme Sorceress thinking about getting in there. It looks like she's... Ooh, that is a bold strategy, Cotton. He needs to fall back. So he uses Spirit Leech. He does bait in Manfred and actually gets some good repeater fire. So Manfred taking a bit of damage. The Spirit Leech is, of course, doing a very good job. And the Mortis Engine now going to be pulling in. So the Repeater Crossbows circling around, trying to get that optimal angle. If the Harpies can win this fight against the Fellbats, that's going to be really nice. Because then the Fellbats can, or the Harpies can just kind of occupy Manfred for a while. So, frontline engagement about underway. The Skeletons are parking up here. The Witch Elves definitely going to be pretty useful. If Manfred has to land, the Witch Elves could potentially rampage them and cause some serious problems. The Harpies here still fighting the Fellbats with Cascading Fire Cloak, which is keeping them afloat. And every time Manfred comes in to help, he's taking a lot of Repeater Crossbow fire to the face. At this point, though, I'd probably switch the Repeater Crossbows onto the Mortis Engine. It seems like Soothsayer is very keen to that, and he's been responding very efficiently. But the Repeater Crossbows have actually switched onto the Corpse Cart, which it's not as valuable of a target. It only costs like 500 gold, but it's very slow. So it's going to be at least guaranteed value, right? So the frontline engagement is underway. The Bleak Swords have started fighting Skeletons. They're definitely going to win. The Graveguard will beat those bad boys. And it looks like the Slaanesha's Harvesters may be doing a bit of a wraparound. They could rear charge and collapse this formation, or go after the Corpse Cart and the Mortis Engine. So I like that play, bringing those guys around the back. The Dark Elf front line is holding well, and the Witch Elves seem to be saturated, getting some pretty good kills here. And here comes that repeater crossbow fire, just melting that corpse cart. So doing some really good damage to that bad boy. It's going to start crumbling, but he really needs to kill this Mortis Engine, or at least Manfred. So the Supreme Sorcerer is back online. She has used the Opal Amulet to give her ward save against all. And it looks like a fat, nasty zombie breath attack going down, or a zombie summon. So very good play there by Soothsayer, summoning it behind the unit, so it's going to be very tough for them to pull out. That's what she said. Corpse Guard has fallen. Balance of Power is pretty much dead even. No one is in a clear advantage here. And the Cold One Knights are just being used to kind of support the infantry a little bit. But now these Cold One Knights should peel back and maybe try and get that Mortis Engine. But yeah, he's being really conservative with that, getting his drains off and not taking too many casualties on return. So these Witch Elves are pulling back. They just mince-meated those guys. Only 2 kills here. Yeah, they really helped kind of clear up that front line, though. It looks like they're going to be swarming here. Oh, no, that Supreme Sorcerer for Romulan Dog. But the Rampage, if he's able to Rampage Manfred, I think that could be game over. So Manfred coming in here. He's trying to pull out from the Witch Elves, and he is going to be able to pull out. If he had been rampaged by the Witch Elves there, that could have been game blouses, because these repeaters could have like scoot over here and gotten some, just like nailed Manfred to the cross there, to the zombie cross. But yeah, anyways, the Bleak Swords here continuing to fight against the Skeleton Spearmen, doing a pretty good job. Witch Elves still in decent shape, but the Graveguard have good armor. There's a ton of vampires, and I don't know, guys. Yeah, the balance of power is pretty heavily in the favor of the vampire counts right now, about 55 to 60%. The Supreme Sorceress is holding on for dear life, but the Spirit Leeches are just going to finish her off. And Manfred is just on the hunt. Maybe he'll get one more fireball. The Slaanesh Harvesters haven't done a whole lot this game either. They've been trying their best, but they haven't really found a home. I would like to see, I don't know what they're lurking out here for. They definitely need to be helping, cycle charging, you know, in the main fight. The Witch Elves do get the Murderous Prowess, so Murderous Prowess does go off. Or Murderous Prowess Mastery, I forget what it's called, but it's going off. They're definitely tearing up these Graveguard, but the Mortis Engine just sitting there draining for free. At full health, and the Dark Elves are leaderless now. They don't have a whole lot in the way of, I don't think they have any other heroic units. But very good fire on the Mortis Engine. He's finally getting some decent shots here. And the Doomfire Warlocks have charged in here. And it looks like a couple of the Cold One Knights have been able to zerg the Mortis Engine. So finally he's getting some goodies. But the Summon Zombies from Manfred back here doing some really good work. Balance of Power evening out a little bit. Relatively even. Yeah, Manfred's doing a ton of work though. The Repeater Crossbow micro has been pretty good. The Mortis Engine's going down, but letting his Supreme Sorceress get killed there at the end is going to be really punishing. Solid volley right there. The Mortis Engine's actually crumbling. If he could kill the Mortis Engine, there might be some sort of a chance. Looks like the Vampire Count's forces here are kind of taking a bit of a beating. The Slaanesh Harvester is doing a very good job, but I think Manfred on his Dragon, and look at this. There's a full health group of like basically Graveguard over here and Skeletons. The Mortis Engine is still alive. It is crumbling, but it also heals itself, so there's some give and take. But this group of Repeater Crossbows from Romulan Dog has freed up, getting some great Overwatch fire, and now it's starting to crumble. It's in really bad shape. It actually might start to disintegrate here, and down goes the Mortis Engine. So Romulan Dog has done a very good job staying in and fighting hard, doing everything he can, but the Repeater Crossbows, I don't know if they have enough ammo to stop Manfred. Some good Witch Elf play might be able to lock down Manfred and get him the value he needs, but for the most part, it's looking to be a Vampire Count's victory. The balance of power is going even further and further into the favor of Romulan Dog, or not Romulan Dog, Soothsayer here. You can see that the Vampire Master himself is just flying above, cackling, doing a very, very good job. Dark Riders, yeah, they've done a great job this game, but they're almost out of ammo. And, you know, the Supreme Sorceress was, you know, the Fireball play was decent, but he didn't get that much value out of his Sorceress, which is unfortunate. Some of the Cold One Knights have rampaged over here. Manfred coming in for a fat charge with his Zombie Dragon. He's easily going to massacre these guys and send them running to the hills. Peter Crossbows shooting into Graveguard, looks like, for the most part. But Bleak Swords are, you know, breaking off. The Witch Elves are breaking off. I mean, they did good. 105 kills on those Bleak Swords. But there was just so much Vampire Count stuff. I just felt like he wasn't able to handle the sheer volume. I really did like that build quite a bit. It was a solid Vampire Counts build against the Dark Elves. You know, very defensive. Didn't really try and contest the Cav game. Just kind of ignored the Repeater Crossbows, to be honest. But yeah, Manfred just had too much fun. The Spirit Leech play was just too good. He just melted the Supreme Sorceress and was able to get 1 or 2 attacks with the Dragon on the Sorceress. And I think that's going to be it, guys. I think Soothsayer is going to go up 2-1 in this series. Yeah, the Mortis Engine got wrecked. Yeah, it got wrecked real hard here. He truly is. It ran out of gas and broke, yes, that is correct. I mean, the Vampire Counts are super beat up here. Like, look at their army. There's not much left. It's just Manfred up in the sky kind of cackling, but I think Manfred could solo this entire army. Like, everything that's left, Manfred could just kill on that dragon. I mean, there's some, you know, remnants of Dark Elves trying to come back here, but I don't see this being something that the Dark Elves can win. They're just using the last of their ammo. The Skeleton Boys, I mean, there's so many shielded infantry here, too. These Graveguard, 51 models, a fair amount of HP. A lot of shields. The crossbow bolts are going to be relatively ineffective, so. Have some coffee? Yes. The vampire player forgot 2 units, did he? Oh my god, he did! He did! He forgot 2 skeletons. Oh, that's so funny. He forgot those bad boys. And look at Manfred's actually taking a lot of... That's really funny. He did. So Soothsayer won the game without 2 skeletons. He didn't. He's like, I don't need him. He's just too manly for his own good. We're in the finals. We had Shetland Apache and we had Aerocrastic earlier. They put up great fights, but alas, they did fall to Soothsayer and Romulan Dog. So Soothsayer is up 2-1 in the series, guys. He is up 2-1. So let's go ahead and update the scoreboard here. And Soothsayer is on the blue team. Boom. Look at that. Technology, baby. Oh, we can't forget Steven Seagal. I'm like getting a headache because I'm talking so fast and not breathing. Let me just take a chill pill for a minute. Yeah, it's time. So it's 2-1 here in this best of 5. Soothsayer's going to Wood Elves. Ooh, I'm terrified of what he can do with Wood Elves. And he forgot those 2 skeletons too. I mean, they wouldn't have made the biggest difference. They're just skeletons, but still, that's 600 gold. I mean, that matters, right? Ugh, all right. Yes, this is it, guys. It's the final countdown. Soothsayer is a worthy emissary of the undeath, indeed. Yeah, Soothsayer's been playing a lot of vampire counts. I believe he used them in the Ever-Chosen. Actually, in the finals versus Romulan Dog, he used vampire. There was a vampire versus Empire game, and it was like so close. It was down to the wire. That was a great game. And yeah, we can go ahead and check. I'll make sure they're playing the correct races and everything. In the final countdown. That was game 3, so Romulan should be playing Bretonia. And then Soothsayer should be playing Wood Elves, yeah. They should get it, yeah. Soothsayer's on the right race, but we'll see what he picks. You worked in which area before going full-time? I was an athletic director, so I worked in sports. Yeah, I just ran sports programs for the city, for San Jose, California. Yep, Wood Elves versus Bretonia. I think this is a slight favor for Bretonia. If Romulan Dog goes like super wide, just with hordes of knights and just like mass amounts of shitty infantry, I think he can win this. Let me go ahead and make sure Steven's up. Okay, Steven's eating his carrot. All is well in the realm. It's only game. Why you have to be mad? That's one of my favorite like memes ever. I feel like his name, Talaxtalan Soothsayer, would be like a lizardman name though. We haven't seen any Wood Elves or lizardmen really, actually. This could go to a game 5 here. I think Bretonia does have a slight advantage here. Yeah. What's your next faction? He's like, oh really? And he's like, yeah, Soothsayer, just with the sad face because he knows it's a hard matchup. Oh man, it's hard for the Wood Elves. Bretonia's like, Wood Elves are very good at picking off like expensive elite targets, but when you just send hordes of like crappy men at arms who trade efficiently actually with your Eternal Guard, and then your knights are just like swarming, it's pretty hard. Yeah, bro, from California. Yeah. The Gabo versus Soothsayer match will happen. It will happen eventually. Well, Romulan could win this series, guys. Don't count him out. He had a very convincing win with that Hell Cannon build earlier. Yeah. I'm going to go get some more water. It's really hot in my room. It's been hot in California, although it's starting to cool down a little bit. Well, Soothsayer is just putting a handicap on himself to make it more fair for everyone else. He just left some units in the back. We're on Schwarzhofen, which is a pretty cool map. Relatively open field. A couple, forest areas, but there's not too many places for the Wood Elves to hide. Soothsayer's probably going to hide like most of his army in the forest. I can actually see Soothsayer coming out with like a tree man build, just like hiding in the trees and just like inviting the Bretonian knights in. I'm not a huge fan of rap music, Misha. Although, I don't know. E40 was pretty popular when I was in high school. You know, Snoop Dogg's heyday was more like, I mean, you gotta like Snoop Dogg's like old classic songs. They're just like I don't like listen to them for leisure. My favorite bands are Foo Fighters, Nine Inch Nails, Metallica. Those are probably like my top 3 favorite. Yeah. Some water here. 1 second. just getting some water, babe. Oh, yeah. No, Soundgarden's another one of my favorite bands of all time. Audioslave is amazing. I love Audioslave. But Soundgarden, yeah, I don't know. I think I like Soundgarden more. There's a song by Soundgarden I really like called 4th of July, which is, it's like super like drudging. The Day I Tried to Live. Black Hole sounds really good, but Fell on Black Days is probably my favorite. Like, if I had to say like favorite songs of all time, Fell on Black Days is another one of my favorites. Like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. I think I'm going to have to listen to that. Straight Shooter Gaming, it's about $200. That's another currency, so it translates to about 200, yeah. Yeah. Yep. So, Soothsayer's build is pretty cool, guys. You're going to like it. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it. We got Bobby Bopo celebrating my first order in my new business with this and a beer. Cheers. Well, hell yeah, man. Congratulations and thank you for your donation. Hope all is well in your business endeavors.
Good old rub. That's it. Nice.
Oh, I gotta go. Apparently, I missed something on PayPal.
Spicy meat.
Is the meat rubbing guy appearing on the stream? Yeah, okay, he should be appearing. I just want to make sure you guys aren't being neglected. So another donation coming in hot. Wow. Okay, so we got a $50 donation from Randolph. Just now, actually, a couple minutes ago, on PayPal. So thank you so much. It was actually Great British Pound, so it's even more than $50. So thank you so much, man. I'll certainly accept it after the stream. Yeah, Tom Morello is good. I'm a big Rage Against the Machine fan. When I used to ride my motorcycle, back when I lived in a coastal town, in a beach town, I used to like put on my headphones underneath my helmet and just play the Battle for Los Angeles, the Rage Against the Machine album, like Guerrilla Radio, Calm Like a Bomb, freaking Bulls on Parade was probably my favorite song of all time by Rage Against the Machine. Just that, like, I remember riding my motorcycle and like when that final punch of Bulls on Parade came on, just like accelerating. Oh, it was so fun. Man, you're bringing me back with that stuff, guys. That was amazing stuff. Oh, where'd chat go? I gotta refresh the window. Chat isn't showing up. Yeah, they're talking about how the matchup sucks. Well, yeah, but that's part of the thing about blind picks. You got to pick races that you feel comfortable with in every matchup, you know. But I mean, what else can beat Bertonia? It's just hard, you know. The meat rubbing guy. Ainsley is coming. Ainsley Harriet's awesome. Yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is where I first discovered Rage Against the Machine when I was like 10 years old. Yeah, because they had Guerrilla Radio on there, and I was like, God damn, this song's awesome. Oh, I was more like, God damn, this song's awesome. That's more how I sounded when I was 10. It's a more accurate rendition of things. Yeah. I'm spectating, Jordan. This is a Flash tournament with 4 players. We're in the finals right now. Soothsayer is up 2-1, but he's in a very hard matchup here. And he's bringing a unit that you guys will like never see. Yeah. You guys, there's someone that is being played that you almost never see in competitive play. So brace yourselves. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. This is a map that's pretty good for Bretonnia. There's not too many hiding places for the Wood Elves here. So I'm eager to see what Romulan Dog brings. I mean, he might go really cav heavy. Based on Soothsayer's build, though, you'll see. Ainsley's still good. Yeah, Ainsley is like, he's still like, I think he has a show somewhere. Yeah. Steven Seagal? No, Steven Seagal's still here because they haven't started the game yet. You'll see, guys. No spoilers. I don't want to say it out loud. There is some unorthodox choices here. I really like Soothsayer's army. I think it's incredibly solid. Like, it could definitely beat Bretonnia. Especially if he just hides in the trees. Rick Astley's good. I think Ainsley Harriet's funnier than Rick Astley, though. All right. Steven Seagal is done for. Treeman DLC confirmed. Mr. Patel, you are correct. You are correct. Girthu confirmed. So, let's see who deploys where. Oh, this is a different map than I thought. This is an open field map. The Wood Elves have like a patch of trees over here. This map must have been changed. I remember it being different. So, for the forces of the Wood Elves, definitely going to take advantage of these tree line here. Probably want to like hide in it. For his anti-cav, he has the Hawkeyes of Drakira. So these guys are a really powerful sniper unit. Very good at like taking out, Grail Knights, Questing Knights, pretty much any sort of heavy cav. So he's probably just going to hide these guys in the middle of his army and just have a Helm's Deep. For his lord, he does have Big Daddy Durthu. He doesn't have any spells. He just has these Sword of Daith, I think. Yeah, Sword of Daith, Lamentation of Despair. On top of that, he does have a Branch Wraith with Earthblood and Melkos Misfine Miasma. So he's just going to be using Durthu as a beat stick, which is going to be really good. Bertoni doesn't have the best answers against Durthu. He could just stand amongst his like high leadership spears and hold all day. For the rest of his forces, looks like we have a couple of groups of Eternal Guard mixed in with Dryads. Dryads very good at mulching low-tier infantry. Eternal Guard very good against cav and even trade somewhat effectively with Foot Squires. So I like that quite a bit. Solid army. He does have the War Dancers with Azurai Spears. 2 groups of those bad boys in the back to deal with heavy cav. So he's going to hide in the tree line, which is honestly I would do the same thing. This is his best bet here, just kind of using the trees. They are Wood Elves. They're going to go find the nearest tree line. The Hawkeyes are just going to start sniping, getting some value, and then, the Glade Riders with Hagman Tips going to do some harass. They're pretty safe. Nothing can really catch them on the Bretonnian roster, with the exception of flying units. It's going to be a Wood Elf Helm's Deep with Big Daddy Durthu, guys. Optimus Pine up in this hoe. And for the Bretonnians, a whole front line of peasant mobs. Pretty good stuff, mucking up the enemy forces, potentially shutting down the archers and wasting their ammunition. Secondary line of men-at-arms with shields, with some spears on the flanks. And oh my god, look at this. Knights of the Lionhearted, Defenders of Fleur de Lis, Knight Errants, Grail Knights, Knight Errants, Knights of the Realm. Oh my god, that is a lot of cav. And the Fey Enchanters with Earthblood, Awakening of the Wood. He's going to awaken some wood, all right. As well as Chalice of Potions and Regrowth. So this is going to be an insane game. If Soothsayer can win this, he's really earning that bread. Oh my god. This is going to be wild. This is going to be absolutely wild. So, the Hawkeyes of Drakira are going to move forward. They are hidden. He probably has them taken off fire at will. There are no good targets here in the front. He wants to, like, if I were Soothsayer, I'd probably just run these guys back, be like, all right, I'm just going to go hide in the forest and shoot the cav when they get close. That is a thick Bretonnian army. That is a ton of cav. Yeah, not safe for work cav, that's for sure. The Bretonnian skirmisher, or Wood Elf skirmisher, is going to do a little bit of poking, just pick apart some peasant mobs, but this is literally like ride now, for wrath, for ruin. Yeah, the red sun rises. And we just go down the ranks here. Just they need a Theoden for this line. That's literally some Return of the King shit right there. So pretty big Rohirrim line. The Bretonnian peasant mob's just going to advance. And it looks like the Wood Elves are going to advance out of the forest a little bit. They're going to keep like some of their forces in the trees. Optimus Pine obviously is hidden. Oh, that's right. Can Durthu like hide in trees or something? I don't know. He's hidden. So right now the Wood Elves, the Bretonnians don't know who the Lord is. But I mean, Durthu is going to be super good against all these troops. He's heavily armored, and with the exception of Questing Knights, none of the Bretonnian Knights have like super good armor. So yeah, the Hawkeyes of Drakira not able to get any shots. They're being pushed back by the walls of just filthy peasants. So just the stink. The closest thing to a Nurgle army in Total War Warhammer, definitely these massive peasant hordes. And you can see the skirmishers in the back just kind of poking and trolling, like looking for an in. Oh, and the lance formation. Look at the mass lance formation coming in. They're just going to bro charge this front line. Oh, man. I am so excited for this. Yeah, the red sun rises. Oh, my God. Look at him just pouring through. He's definitely going to want to get some Brave Spears up there because these Dryads are just going to get their business pushed in here. It is not going to be fun from the Bretonnian Knights, just full-on couching their lances, just getting in there. So Knight Errants, it looks like everyone's going to be charging in. The peasants are charging in as well. The Bretonnian Knights coming in lance formation. The Hawkeyes of Drakira not really doing much so far. And here comes the first charge. So the Bretonnians are charging into the front line, just reaving through the Wood Elves, just sending them flying in all which directions. Just devastating. I mean, they had some Brave Spears there, but the Bretonnians just piling in, getting a ton of free value on the Eternal Guard and these Dryads. And then they're just going to pull back. So if Romulan Dog sits too long in sustained combat, he could definitely lose this, but another charge coming into the back against these Eternal Guard. They were not ready for that. Those are the Defenders of Fleur de Lis here, and just massive damage coming in, so this is going to be so hard for the Wood Elves. Although in the front, they wreck some Knights of the Realm. Durthu just, with his Optimus Pine Sword, just absolutely crushing. I don't know, maybe the Wood Elves can pull something out. Awakening of the Wood going down. Another charge from Romulan Dog with the Knights of the Lionhearted coming in the back, just doing devastating damage, pinning in these Dryads and these Eternal Guards. And this formation probably going to be collapsed, I would imagine. The Wood Elf Peasants, or not the Wood Elf Peasants, the Bretonnian Peasants have advanced as well. The Defenders of Fleur de Lis getting another charge on those guys in the back. Only taking out one model. They were definitely ready for that, or actually 8 models on those guys. The Peasants, though, Durthu's doing a really good job holding the front line. He's just laying a spanking on these Knights of the Realm, as well as these Knight Errants over here. And the Skirmisher's doing a pretty good job for the Bretonnians. Oh, he could detach right now. If he can get a charge right here on the Glade Riders, like, just get these Knights of the Lionheart in charge over there. I know he's microing so many cabs, so it's, like, super hard to do all this. But the Bretonnian hordes just piling forward, and you can see the Dryads and the War Dancers and the Eternal Guard are slowly getting worn down by these charges. Just lance formations coming in here, just causing all kinds of mischief. These Grail Knights have regrouped here, but the Peasants are just inexorable. Hawkeyes of Drakir are basically just dying, like generating no value. They got like no kills. I mean, 12 or 13 kills, but look at the Peasants just piling in, just swarming the Wood Elves, sending them back to the forest. Optimus Pine is pretty much fully surrounded by the Knights of Bretonnia. Most certainly going to be able to drag him down. The Wood Elf Skirmishers in the back have engaged, it looks like, against some of the Bretonnian Knights trying to chase him off. But the Knight Errants, yeah, they're just going to just wreck these guys. Like, the Knights of Bretonnia, just so angry this game. So, that was brutal. That was just a brutal overwhelming. Like, I haven't seen, man, Romulan Dog just with the massive Rohirrim charge, just microing all of those cab at once, just a masterful effect. The Wood Elves do have some troops returning, but the Bretonnian Knights are just going to ride them down. Easy, no problem. Dryads and Spears coming back, but this is where Bretonnia shines. If you can like break the enemy formation, then when they're rallying, you just pick them apart. You just have the cab, you have the mobility, and the Spearmen at Arms are just swarming. I mean, the Winterheart Guard are just, look how many peasants there are here. This is just absolute thickness. So many of these peasant mobs just swarming. This is literally just like surrounded, being speared by all angles. Definitely a horrible way to go, just being like prison shanked and stabbed by hordes of Bretonnians. Durthu is basically fully surrounded by the Bretonnian Knights. This game is over. The Bretonnians won this, guys. We're going to a best of 5 here. That was an erect charge. Romulan Dog coming in. He wants vengeance for the Ever Chosen tournament, it looks like. That was a cool build by Soothsayer. I don't know. I don't know what he could have done. Maybe Durthu plus like a tree man plus like spamming. I don't know. How do you deal with those hordes of peasants? Because what you need to deal with the hordes of peasants is countered by cab charges. So it's like, it's really tough for the Wood Elves. A brutal matchup, and obviously Romulan Dog is quite good here too. But I mean, Soothsayer, obviously one of the best players in the world, but this is a hard matchup. The Bretonnian Knights coming in, Romulan Dog's micro's just been on point. He's been charging his cav. Like, that cycle charging in the beginning was a thing of beauty, just masterful. And I have to admit, I do get a little bit of a chub watching the Wood Elves get run over by cav, because they're one of my least favorite factions. They're so annoying. So Durthu here, putting up a pretty good fight. I mean, maybe he can pull something back. He's really holding on against these guys, but the Bretonnians are just kind of cleaning up the scraps on the periphery before they then close in and finish off Durthu here. So Durthu, he is a thick boy, but he's taking some attacks from Grail Knights who do have a bonus versus large and a charge bonus of 106 in the lance formation. But yeah, I mean, the Wood Elves are breaking. Durthu is doing a really good job. I mean, he is amazing against the Bretonnian heavy cap because of his armor and his physical resist, although they do magic damage, so I guess that doesn't play. Another charge coming in the back on Durthu. It looks like he does get an Earthblood, so he's being healed a little bit. Bounce of power about 35%, give or take, for in favor of the Bretonnians. So the Wood Elves have about 35% of that bounce of power. Over here you can see some of the spears are still fighting, but the peasants are just literally swarming with their hoes and their pitchforks and just clubbing down the superior Eternal Guard. Like, literally, this one Eternal Guard is just, let's just see how long he lasts against the rakes and shovels. He's just being circle beaten just with shovels. Oh, Bretonnia is such an awesome faction. I love that. Yeah, that was so great. Just the one Eternal Guard. Like this elvish warrior who's trained for hundreds of years, just being beaten down by these filthy peasants with shovels and rakes. God, that's so funny. But yeah, there's basically men-at-arms and spears, and they have the Eternal Guard here. There's still a couple of them fighting. There's only 8 left, but there's knights in there swarming. I mean, there's nothing Romulan can do at this point to lose the game, unless he just like let Durthu kill everything one by one. Yeah, the Fey Enchantress is in there as well. There's still plenty of heavy cav left. There is some skirmishing going on for the Wood Elf Glade Riders, but they're out of ammunition. They're not going to be able to do enough stopping power to get through this blob. That was. I have seen high-level Wood Elf players beat Bretonnian players before in tournaments like King's Cup and things like that, but it's a massive advantage for the Bretonnians, I'd say. It's like Chaos versus Vampires. It can be done, but it's still very, very difficult. So Durthu getting the Sword of Daith right there, but that's going to be army losses there. Damn. That was crazy. That was literally a Kung Pao moment. New shovel meta confirmed. Just the shovel, just beating some like elite warrior down. God, I love that. That's so funny. Yeah, because didn't Soothsayer get vampires against his Chaos? I can't remember that far back. But let's go ahead and update the scoreboard here. It's only game. Why you have to be mad? All right, so Romulan Dog 2-2. Holy shit. Today is ending up to be a really, really good day. I did like Soothsayer's Army in theory. It had its moments. I think the Hawkeyes of Jakira were one of the things that kind of tilted the game for him because they cost like 1,500 gold and they did nothing, like absolutely nothing. Maybe if he had invested those in like some like heavier units, maybe some more war dancers. But the Azrai spears just got cut up by shovels and peasants. Like, God, that was hard. Maybe some war dancers with the dual wield in the front line, like stacked on top of Eternal Guard. But those charges were so nasty. Oh man, that was really hard. Like I'm at a loss of what to do there. Like that just seems brutal. GG, no chance. All right, guys, we're here with game 5. Yeah, Durthu fought. The prophecy is true. All right, so let's go here. I have to put on Steven Seagal, so let me find him. There's Steven. And guys, this last one is on the Crossroads, which is like just in a straight up open field map. I figure Crossroads doesn't get a lot of love because it's pretty simple, but I think it makes for like fun chess matches. So this matchup is, yeah, the Hawkeyes really just got dumpstered. There wasn't enough to protect them against the peasant swarms. There was too much penetration, as they say. So let me go to Discord. Let's see. Well, let me see here. Hey, Marcus Aurelius, for the dog, for making it a 5-matcher. May the best player win. Marcus, thank you so much, dude. Yeah, this is. I hope it's not like a one-sided matchup in the last one. So we have Empire for Romulan Dog versus Soothsayer, who's going to be playing Dark Elves. That is a fun matchup. This is a good matchup.
Give your meat a good old rub.
This is a really good one.
That's it. Nice and hot.
Yeah, Gobble King has a great point. I think like had he spammed Tree Cannon, just like Tree Men and just stood there, like he might have been able to win. Like he would have had to go all in though. And then the problem is if Bretonia like brought like a couple halberds, he would have just lost. This is a great matchup. I honestly think like Dark Elves might be considered a little bit higher tier, but in the hands of a good Empire player, it can be very even. Empire's heavy cav do very well. Their state troops do okay. They have plenty of tactics here. And plus this is like purely open field, so Empire cannons are going to be very, very good here as well. No, it's not ripped to the Empire. Empire can win this. This isn't a terrible matchup, in my opinion. God, that was such a cool game, that last one. Just the Rohirrim. So we have the Ever Chosen 2 finals here, in the making. This is outstanding. Oh, man. I actually got a kneeler chair, so I'm like sitting in it like straight up meditation pose. No, it is not rip Empire, guys. Come on. Empire can definitely contend here. It's hard, but they can. Empire is a very high skill cap faction. I don't know, Dark Elves are up there. They're definitely one of the best factions in the game. I mean, neither of them are saying anything about this matchup. The last one, Soothsayer was immediately like, oh, god damn it. Hey, Ego, thanks for the 50 crowns. I don't know what that translates to in American dollars, but I mean, regardless, thank you, man. Really appreciate it.
Give your meat a
Soothsayer, whoever wins this is coming away with like probably close to $200.
Nice and hot. Hot and spicy.
I really like the crowdsourced tournament format where like the community can like crowdsource surprise pool. You know, if people enjoy it, they can. You know, I think it's really fun. I don't think we're going to see Steam Tanks simply because Dark Elves have really good armor piercing, and there's a lot at stake now. A Hellstorm rocket battery? Maybe. I doubt it. Do I have Steven Seagal? Is he up? I have to check. Is he eating his carrot? Is he being a good boy? Okay. He's here. For the next stream, I'm probably going to change the some of the donation things. I don't know. Would you guys be upset if I got rid of the Ainsley, the rub the meat donation thing? I have some other funny ones I want to try. Everyone's like rooting for the Empire. Thematically, I would want the Empire to win too. I love the Empire. They're so cool. All right, boys. I would love to see some dwarves today too, but the one player who would have brought dwarves who's quite good at them is Shetland Apache. So we might have seen dwarves had it gone to like game 3 with him. He might have had them in the queue. I'm not sure. Far over the misty mountains go, to dungeons deep And caverns old. I love the dwarves. Dwarves thematically are like one of my favorite. Like in Lord of the Rings, oh man, I love the dwarves. They're so cool. It's kind of sad though, because like every time we get to see the dwarves, they're in like a state of decay. Like they're like a fallen civilization. But like the stories of dwarves in their primes, it's so cool. They're just so epic. It's like, man, like the whole thematics of like the dwarves delving too deep and finding a goddamn Balrog is so cool. Goddamn. Yeah. So Professor Pone says, can you set it up so that different money amounts show different memes? I don't know if I could set that up. I'll try. Turin is not a dwarvish name, no. Well, Turin is a character from this from Tolkien's work. Not from The Lord of the Rings, but he's a character from one of the earlier ages. Yeah, it's actually a pretty cool story. But my middle name is actually Turin in real life, or Turin, as you're supposed to say it. It's my dad's middle name. It's my grandfather's middle name. It's kind of an ancestral name from northern Italy, which is where I'm half Irish, half Italian, basically. We haven't seen Gelt in the Double Witch Hunter, although that is really good in this matchup. The Witch Hunters are just solid at kiting, accusation so powerful. You can snipe out the Supreme Sorceress with final transmutations. Like, Witch Elves do not recover well from like burst damage because they don't have any way of healing, really. I mean, Soul Stealer with darkness, but that's really expensive. So, Lord of the Rings, my favorite movies of all time are Lord of the Rings. By far. Like, when I first went, it was pretty cool. When I first went to Poland to meet Anna, like for the first time in person, I flew to Poland, and I remember like the first couple nights we watched Lord of the Rings at the end of the night, like at like 2 or 3 a.m. and we watched Lord of the Rings, and I was like, oh yeah, she's a keeper. We just watched it because she's like a diehard fan too. She probably knows it better than me. It's not like named after that city, but it's influenced by it. I'm trying to remember. My dad told me the actual influences of it once. Yeah. It's like it's like a family name going back like a couple hundred years. I love Lord of the Rings. I get like emotional at the end of it. Like when they sail out to the west, I get like depressed. I'm like, man, like life is short. You know? I'm excited for this matchup though, guys. Yeah, I agree, Indie Pride. Hey, we got Milk and Cookies. Total War in here. Up in here. There you go. There you go, Indie Pride. You're now a glorious moderator in chat. Well, so basically when Anna moved out here, we did a civil union, right? Because basically the government requires you to do it in like a quick amount of time. Like you can't even plan like a wedding. So in the future, we're going to have a Lord of the Rings themed wedding where everyone coming to it is required to dress up like a Lord of the Rings character. I don't care if they don't like fantasy, if they don't know about fantasy, if they don't know about Lord of the Rings. I'm going to make everyone dress up. Everyone has to dress up like anything from Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's happening. I am ascended. Yeah, this video will be available later. So for anyone who wants to go back and watch the stream, it'll be up on the channel in probably about 2 hours. 2 hours, 3 hours or so. Yep. We got Lehman Russ in here. I actually just read The Thousand Suns, the 40K novel from the Horus Heresy area, and that was pretty crazy. The final battle between the Space Wolves and the Thousand Suns on Prospero is intense. It's really, really good. Can we live stream the wedding? I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? Also, if any of you guys live in oh yeah, she's getting the one ring. If any of you guys live in California and Los Angeles and you want to play 40K, just hit me up. I can't get Italian Spartacus to play with me. Damn it. Yeah, Romulan Dog being very methodical with his picks here, and now battle's underway. So Soothsayer's army is very solid. It's very good. It has answers for everything. I'm quite eager to see how. I have a feeling Romulan Dog is going to be using like Hammer of the Witches to just pick apart the forces of the Dark Elves. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone who doesn't like Lord of the Rings has to dress up like the Shire hobbits. Oh my god. All right, guys. We are here with the 5th and final game in this Sunday afternoon Flash tournament. Again, big thanks to all of you guys for joining. Hopefully the earlier start at 12 noon has allowed some of you guys in the UK, in Europe, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, anywhere on the globe to tune in. I know the time frame was a little bit tough in the past, but we're going to start earlier and earlier. Try and make sure we start in that time so you guys aren't kept up till 1 in the morning watching the glorious finals here. This is the final match. We're going to take a look at the Imperial forces. We'll actually look at the Dark Elves because they're setting up a little quicker. Front line for the Dark Elves is going to be a combination of Bleak Swords, and in the secondary line we have 2 groups of the Sisters of Slaughter. These guys, as their name infers, slaughter state troops. They do very well against great swords with their high melee defense. Poison, physical resist, definitely very powerful. So the Bleak Swords in the front line, a very good choice. They're shielded against missile fire. They trade well with state troops. And then the Sisters are going to come in and just absolutely pound down those state troops. In the secondary line, to take out heavy cav, Demogryph Knights, Reichsguard, things like that, or Flying Lords like Karl Franz or Boris. He has a couple of groups of Dark Riders with repeater crossbows, a beautiful choice. 2 groups of Cold One Knights here in the back. On the far side, 2 more groups of Cold One Knights. So a lot of anti-large here. Really expecting Reichsguard and Demogryph Knights and Flying Lords here from the Empire. So a beautiful army here from Soothsayer. And on top of that, 1 more group of Dark Riders. For his Lord, he does have a Supreme Sorceress not up in the air. He doesn't want it to be an easy target. Fadabuna and Spirit Leech, he is holding no punches back. Fadabuna very good against Empire Heavy Cav. And for the forces of Romulan Dog, he does have 1 group of Knights of the Blazing Sun, definitely outmatched by, the 4 Cold One Knights, I think. So he's going to have to play a very defensive style of play. Hammer the witches, just going full Rob Zombie, burn through the witches and slay them. Yeah. So definitely that's it. Swordsman, Great Sword, Sigmar's Son. So a very mixed forces army, but a couple groups of Great Swords mixed in there, which will trade efficiently. As far as Empire infantry go, they'll trade more efficiently with the Sisters than anything else. So because of their armor. He does have a group of crossbowmen, which we haven't seen in many ages, handgunners, the Archlector, a Jade Wizard, and Demogryph Knight. So he's going to be probably some sort of a defensive formation, I would imagine. He hasn't started setting up yet, so I would imagine that he's might be AFK or lagging or something. Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, let me just say start until Romu is good to go. Maybe AFK or lagging. Okay, we're just going to check there. I'm actually, you know what, Call? I'm actually pretty good at 40k now. Like, straight up. My Death Guard army, I've played 6 games, and I've been playing, like, ITC versus good players, and I haven't lost yet, actually. So, like, I mean, yes, I'm sure if someone brought, like, a net deck Imperial Guard list, I would get smashed, but I've done pretty well for myself. I'm not playing, like, the best people, but I'm playing average players and doing well, so. So let's see here. Okay, good. Romulan Dog is here now, so he's going to start setting up. Just wanted to make sure. I have a couple armies. So in 40k, my one list that I run is a Typhus Boxwalker list. It's a little bit more casual, but it surprises a lot of people. So 2 battalions. One of them is 2 Boxwalkers of 20, 1 squad of Plague Marines of 10 with 2 Blight Launchers. I just use Veterans of the Long War and use them to gun things down. I have Typhus, I have Demon Prince of Nurgle with a Suppurating Plate, and then I run 3 of the Fetid Blow Drones in Outrider detachment. My second detachment is 3 groups of 10 cultists, a standard Chaos Lord for rerolls on my Plague Marines, and then I forget what the other one is. It's like I don't know, like a Chaos Sorcerer. I mix it up. My other army I use 10 Blight Lord Terminators, so it's really fun. That one's way more fun, and Mortarion as well. Yeah. Yes. Have you ever played multiplayer with low budget? What do you mean? I have 2 lists. I have one that my second list is like I run 10 Blightlord Terminators, an Outrider detachment with 3 Fetid Blow Drones, a Demon Prince of Nurgle, Lord of War with Mortarion, and then an Alpha Legion detachment with 3 groups of 10 cultists to hold objectives, and a Chaos Terminator Lord to give rerolls to my Blightlord drop. I have a couple of good lists. No, Death Guard isn't overpowered by any stretch of the imagination. Imperial Guard are overpowered. And Drukari. Like, they're insanely powerful. Oh, Mortarion. I haven't painted him yet, because my hand problem really limits my painting. So I can only paint for, like, maybe 20, 30 minutes. So I just finished, Anna and I just finished we have 3 Terminators painted. The rest of my army's all painted and done. Just the Terminators and Mortarion need to be painted. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I would recommend? Meshiel Vanderhoven. My apologies if I mangled your name. I would recommend if you want to get into tabletop, just wait till there's a starter set. So like get a friend who wants to get into it and buy the Dark Imperium starter set. One of you play Death Guard and Space Marines. It's a great way to start a collection. Like you can just buy like Typhus, a couple more Poxwalkers, and you have a casual list that can compete. You know, fetid bloat drones you can get for. I don't have the crawlers because I haven't bought them. Someday they'll replace the drones. I just have the drones because they came with the starter kit set and they were cheaper to get on eBay. And this is it, guys. This is game 5. They're here for all of the marbles. This is gonna be pretty balls deep. We got Jade Wizard over here. We got the Archlector. Romulan Dog brought the Archlector in the Everchosen. I mean, he's actually not bad in this matchup because you don't need like a big AP powerhouse lord against Dark Elves, really. I mean, he's going to be riding with the Demogryph Knights and buffing up the state troops and doing pretty well. And the open field here is really going to allow the Hammer of the Witches to just pound out the Cold One Knights. He's probably going to just shoot the Cold One Knights and make them rampage. So guys, we're here with the finals of today's Flash Tournament. We got 860 people watching. It is time. And the Hammer of the Witches is going to open up right out of the gates. It's going to be moving forward. Might be a little bit out of range for the Cold One Knights, but the Dark Elves definitely have to advance here. There's going to be no games. I see some chat here. Let me make sure. He said, "Let's do it. The time is now." And yeah, this is it. All the marbles. Looks like there's an Arcane Conduit popped on the Supreme Sorceress. Maybe going to actually just wait and get the Fate of Buna, make sure it has enough Winds of Magic. But there is a Jade Wizard here, so some good regrowths or Earthbloods could counteract the effect of Fate of Buna, but it's still going to be very good against Knights of the Blazing Sun. But Knights of the Blazing Sun, also a good pick because they have magic resist. A lot of people don't know this. They actually have like a base 25% magic res, so they actually mitigate a lot of the Fate of Buna damage, so I really like that pick from Romulan Dog. A very defensive, powerful Empire army. The crossbows are also going to be very useful against the Sisters of Slaughter, kind of gunning those guys down. And yeah, the Dark Elves are being very conservative. I'm not sure why they're not moving yet. Hammer of the Witches is probably going to scoot up and start shooting here in a moment. I mean, it's a big enough map that, yeah, and you can see the Empire is going to move forward. I mean, they're going to move forward just enough that the Hammer of the Witches is going to start shooting, and, you know, from there, he's probably just going to stop advancing, I would imagine. So Hammer of the Witches is shooting. Doesn't look like there's any Vanguard. I mean, it is the Crossroads, so it's very open. There's not too much sneaky business. This is just like a straight-up fisticuffs fight. So Empire forces are advancing. Dark Elves are now advancing as well, so they're both like, all right, let's fight. Let's go fisticuffs. So I'm really curious what the Hammer of the Witches is going to shoot. It is going to fire. Its first volley is going off. I think it's going to be against the Cold One Knights, or maybe against repeater crossbows. Like, they're a pretty good target. So the first volley is underway. It's flying across the map, just careening, and it is going to tag these Cold One Knights. It looks like, no, it's actually going after the Supreme Sorceress. So it's a bold strategy, Cotton. The Empire forces are going to be falling back now that the fighting is underway. I think he realized he left his Hammer of the Witches back a little bit too far. And it looks like the Hammer crew is switching. They're rotating. They're definitely going to start shooting against the Dark Riders. He needs to get some big value out of the Hammer back here. If this thing goes down, he's going to be in big trouble. He does actually hit the Supreme Sorceress with a cannon shot and just decks her. Over here, the handgunners are forming about face to start shooting the Dark Riders. They definitely shouldn't be taking any of that shit. And the Empire Crossbowmen, a really good counter against the Dark Riders. And yeah, look at that. They're just like picking them apart and doing some pretty good damage. So didn't kill any models, but still fends them off. And the Dark Elf forces are advancing now. The Greatswords, I think, are going to have a field day. I think the Empire actually is a really good composition here. The Dark Elves in the back for getting a couple units. Some Cold One Knights from Soothsayer coming in. Definitely a lot of pressure here in the finals with a lot of money at stake. And yeah, guys. Sorry, I'm just making sure. Okay, yeah, no one's saying that I have Steven Seagal left on. I got like scared for a second. I left it on. But anyways, the Dark Elves forming a bit of a formation here. You can see the Bleak Swords getting ready to push in as well. The Spearmen are going to engage the Bleak Swords. He really needs to protect this back line. So the Repeater Crossbows here being screened out, but a massive volley coming in on those guys. And the handgunners of the Empire and the Hammer of the Witches pounding those Cold One Knights. If they can rampage those Cold One Knights into the Empire State troops, that could just be massive value. So some Spearmen falling back. Definitely very good play, but the Empire Greatswords are just munching through this front line here. You can see the Greatswords and the Demogryph Knights doing an outstanding job just punching through these Dark Elf forces with the support of the Demogryph Knights, but the Dark Elves also have really good Overwatch fire, so the Repeater Crossbows also melting the Demogryph Knights. Now the Cold One Knights, the Lizard Limos, well, not limos, the Lizards are coming in, and they're definitely going to have some brutish force here on the initial impact. These Cold One Dark Riders, Repeater Crossbows, have been given the order to attack the Hammer of the Witches. If that gets taken down, that could be brutal, and the Fate of Buna has gone off on the Knights of the Blazing Sun. But an Earthblood in response is going to counteract a lot of that damage. If they can keep that model count high, that's definitely going to be very good. The Greatswords of the Empire holding firm, got 15 kills, doing pretty well. But you can see the Demogryph Knights have been pushed through to intercept these Cold One Knights. A massive charge from the state troops, doing a beautiful job taking out these Cold One Knights. Hammer of the Witch is still online, although these Dark Riders, they have an opening here. If the Dark Riders can shut down the Hammer and then sweep through and shut down the handgunners, that could be a brutal 2-for-1. And the state troops are nowhere in position to defend. Soothsayer needs to do that right now. He needs to take this out. And, you know, these guys are broken, the Knights of the Blazing Sun. So you can see he does get back onto the cannon crew. And have they come back? No, they have not. And another last Samurai charge. The Coldman Knights getting into the back line. Romulan Dog just everywhere with these Demogryph Knights. And the Archlector here is going to be buffing these guys, giving them massive combat stats, and just allowing them to tear through these dinosaurs. So, the Coldman Knights getting ravaged. Bounce of power is pretty damn even. The backline has been compromised for the most part. These repeaters need to shut down this this hammer. They're sitting a little bit close to it, but they're not stopping it. Just charge in there, finish it off, knock them off the equipment. That's going to buy you a lot of time and save you a lot of stress. So, Archlector in really good shape. There's quite a few state troops left. I mean, there's great swords in here. There's all kinds of stuff going on. And yeah, the Fate of Unit honestly did not do that much. I mean, it burnt them down, but for the Winds of Magic cost, it's a big investment, guys. So, a huge mistake there by Soothsayer, in my opinion, not shutting down the Hammer of the Witches. He had ample time now, but it looks like the Empire is going to be able to defend it now. Archlector trying his best to hold back these Dark Riders, but finally the Soothsayer is going to make that up and get in there, shut down the Hammer. If he can break the Hammer of the Witches crew and then chase them off the battlefield, that is going to be massive, because if the Empire is able to stabilize and then resecure its Hammer of the Witches, like, he can just sit on that and pick apart the Dark Elf skirmishers. So the Dark Riders pulling back, pretty good ammunition on those guys. Bleak Sword's doing pretty well in the front, but the Great Swords of the Empire, the veritable Sons of Sigmar, just mashing these Dark Elf infantry, doing a beautiful job. And guys, it looks like the Empire's in a pretty advantageous position. The bounce of power in their favor by about 10%, so about 40 to 60 right now. The Archlector riding around, it is so cool seeing the Archlector be used. He's very tanky. I mean, he has 95 armor, is quite a beast. But the Dark Riders are picking apart this this crew on the Hammer of the Witches. Definitely should be able to finish that off. So very good play by Soothsayer here, clawing his way back into the game. But here we have a pretty important fight. Knights of the Blazing Sun with regrowth, some Empire State troops piling in, and the Cold One Knights here actually going down. The Sons of Sigmar just fighting tooth and nail against these fiendish foes. But the Dark Elves, very good play here on the flank, are able to actually pick apart the Hammer of the Witches crew. And but there are a lot of infantry left for the Empire. And if they're able to form a last stand on top of the Archlector, I don't know, it might be a little bit hard for the Dark Elves to finish them off. So right here, there are some Bleak Swords, but the Great Swords coming in as well. 44 models, they should be able to finish these guys off with their bonus versus infantry. So just a bloody fight. But these Dark Elves are fully surrounded, guys. Just absolute insanity here. Over here on the far side, you can see the Great Swords are coming as well. That is a lot of Great Swords to be left alive at this point. But Soothsayer does an amazing job getting himself back into the game, killing the Life Caster and isolating it. Well, it's not actually dead, but he's broken. So right now, Romulan really needs to rally that Jade Wizard. If he can get his state troops over there, rally the Jade Wizard, I think he'll win the game. But if Soothsayer is able to push off this Jade Wizard and actually kill it, that could be pretty disastrous. That's really going to even things out. As far as, you know, magic goes, Soothsayer is going to have magic with this Supreme Sorceress regardless. I think he might have enough for like one more Spirit Leech, but probably not much more. And you can see that Romulan is doing a very good job popping the Grand Hammer of Sigmar, buffing all of these troops, just keeping them fighting against these Sisters of Slaughter. On the far side, very, very good stuff here. You can see that Soothsayer is going to be chasing down the cannon crew, making sure there's going to be no late game shenanigans. He has a lot of mobility, though. Those repeater crossbows have a ton of ammunition. And these spearmen don't have shields, so they could potentially cut him apart. But the Archlector, just such a force multiplier, giving the force multiplier. All right, losing my voice here. It's been a long day. You know, the Grand Shield of Faith, the Grand Hammer of Sigmar going down, just absolutely massive stuff, making these Sisters of Slaughter substantially weaker in combat here. And the Sons of Sigmar, the valiant sons of the Empire here, just fighting and just cutting apart these Dark Elf troops, which normally favors the Dark Elves, but the Sisters of Slaughter are going down. I mean, they have low armor, so even spearmen that are buffed a little bit can cut them to pieces. So the Dark Elves, wow, guys, balance of power is dead even. It is right in the center. This is anyone's game. The Dark Elves have a bit of a surround. They can definitely get some cycle charging with the Dark Riders, but if the Empire just holds firm, maybe, and the Archlector is going to be a force to be reckoned with, but there are a lot of Imperial forces that are a little bit scattered here. So the Jade Wizard here is being hunted down. You can see that the Supreme Sorcerer is just all evil and cackling. He's going to be going after the Jade Wizard. So Radagast here is going to be falling. Wow, homie just got decapitated. That's rough. That is not a fun way to go, so that shows how she feels about nature. So she takes out the Jade Wizard, but there are a lot of Imperial infantry. At this point, I think Romulan Dog just kind of has to circle the wagons. He has to go. He has to form a Helm's Deep, just stand and be like come at me, you know? Because, I don't know, he's going to have to just take all that ammunition from the Dark Riders. And you can see here that Soothsayer is going to be chasing down the skirmishers. You know, even these 20 handgunners can make a big difference, so making sure. But this is an amazing game. These have all been really, really good matches here in these finals in this best of 5. So Spirit Leech going down on the Archlector. He, of course, has no way to heal anymore, so every point of damage matters. Balance of power, guys, dead even. Dead even. Just like in the middle. There is no clear advantage. Maybe a tiny bit for the Dark Elves now, but a lot of their unit power is staying in their Dark Riders, who are almost out of ammunition. So But this is risky. He shouldn't be splitting up his forces. You can see that Romulan Dog is kind of like chasing a little bit. He needs to just stand as one, just tank everything, use the Archlector maybe to screen a little bit, but this is going to be it. Both forces are marshaling their armies. The Supreme Sorceress with the Lore of Death getting his repeaters. The remaining sisters, some of the Bleak Swords over here. Unfortunately, these Great Swords taking some massive fire. They're shaken. They might actually break off because those crossbows have massive AP. He does have some shielded infantry. The Sigmar Sons, 41 models. Those guys are going to be tough to get rid of. But yeah, this one group almost out of ammunition. But guys, this is tough. I think that Soothsayer is actually going to take this because he just has so much ammunition left. Right here, the Archlector getting Spirit Leeched again. He can chase, but the Empire lost its cannon. He wasn't able to protect that. Archlector clubbing some of those guys off their horses, which looked really cool, but he's at the mercy of the Dark Elves now. The Repeater Crossbows can definitely pick those guys apart. This was anyone's game, but I think that Soothsayer has been very patient and very good at cleaning up the Empire forces that get separated. And the Empire had plenty of ranged units, but Soothsayer did a really good job of picking them apart. So now this is in the Dark Elf territory. So one group of the Dark Riders is out of ammunition. The other one here has a lot. This group has a ton of ammunition. I mean, there's no point in really chasing. He might as well just stand still and take those arrows. That would be my 2 cents. If he could bait some of the ammunition onto the Dark Riders here, or from the Dark Riders onto the Archlector, and like side strafe and waste some of their shots, that could be really good. So this is it, guys. This is the final showdown. That was, I mean, yeah, he didn't have a whole lot to deal with the Repeater Crossbows. I mean, some Pistoliers could have been decent maybe, but his army was good. I mean, this game has just been down to the wire. Soothsayer had a very unfortunate matchup last time, having to play the Wood Elves into Bretonnia, so here, like, definitely this is definitely going a little bit better, but I think Empire vs. Dark Elves is a really, really fun matchup. So the Sons of Sigmar pushing forward. The Greatsword's taking some fire. He's definitely going to want to circle up now because, man, this Repeater Crossbow fire hurts. And none of these Spearmen have shields. That is really tough. I definitely think it's worth bringing these shielded Spearmen here. But look at the Dark Elves forming their last bastion. The Archlector is going to be standing on top of the Sons of Sigmar fighting. And yeah, that's going to be it. Definitely he wants to use all of his ammunition before he engages, though. Like, there's no point in risking this. In competitive play, you're going to want to like do this type of stuff here. So cut the crossbows for pistols. Yeah, Pistoliers could have been a little bit better. I mean, the crossbows did well, but they got compromised. Soothsayer had a massive cav advantage. Another Spirit Leech going down as well. Oh, this is Archlector's getting a little bit too crazy. He charges in. He's taking a Spirit Leech. He pops his different buffs. You can see the state troops are going to be rushing forward, but Archlector, going out like a patriot of Sigmar. And you can see that Soothsayer is going to meet him in battle, not afraid to go fisticuffs. But it looks like that's going to be it. I mean, the Empire just wasn't able to protect its ranged assets, which it needed to deal with the Repeater Crossbows. And that is going to be it. Soothsayer is going to be our final for today. That was great. I mean, that was literally like ever chosen, but even closer. I mean, I had faith in my Empire boys there, but that was a really good game. Well played to both players. They both played, and I mean, Soothsayer at the end could have wasted his ammunition and like waited even longer, but he just went in and charged. And Soothsayer is going to be our champ today. So let's go ahead and plug in the headphones, and we'll get our scoreboard updated here. What a day! All right, so let's go ahead and get the blue team scoreboard, and we'll do this. And yep. 3-2. What a series. God damn. So let's see if the guys are available for a chat here. We could call them. Let's see here. Want to do and I don't think that Soothsayer has a microphone. I can't remember. So I asked him, but anyways, we'll take a look at the game breakdown there. But yeah. That was a crazy game. Both builds were really good. The Greatswords really just mashed those Dark Elf infantry, but ultimately, Soothsayer had way too much mobility. That one group of Demogryph Knights did a really good job. Like, they basically killed all those Dark Rider or Coldblum Riders, but at the end of the day, it was just like too much mobility from the Dark Elves. The Empire played a very defensive style of play, and the Hammer of the Witches got some okay value, but I feel like it also didn't pay for itself really. So that was pretty wild. Also, big thanks to Aerocrastic and Shetland Apache for playing earlier. Let us not forget their glorious contributions to the stream. Those guys were absolute beasts. And yeah, that was quite a bit of fun. So let me see if they want to. I think so. Let me see. They're still in game. And they're chatting right now. Yeah, without any range units, it's ours. Any of you guys want to do interviews? Yeah, it's been great today, guys. Love to have you both back. Yeah, those were some games, though, man. I'm like exhausted. I wasn't even playing it. I'm tired. I do think that a build for the Wood Elves... Soothsayer says his micro is pretty broken. That's funny. Yeah, so we'll probably just call it for today. I don't think they have microphones set up right now, so we're just going to kind of wind it down. But very well played to both of these guys. I mean, that was amazing stuff. Romulan Dog put up a great fight, almost taking that series. I really did think that the Empire was going to win, so that was just absolutely bananas. And remember, guys, big thanks to all the donations. I mean, it was absolute insanity today. So we got Ego with multiple donations, I think over like $200. Marcus Aurelius. We got Bobby Bopa. We got Farragon with just massive, massive prize pool donations. I mean, that is huge. So thank you so much, man. You really killed it. We got my lovely wife with a donation just coming right back into our pocket. All right. Salsa Fish Karna. That guy coming in asking for the yoga pants. I don't know if we can accommodate. Again, Farragon, Alexander Marsh, Dob Plays, Red Spotted Drake, Max, Zach Judd. We got Skino Man. We got Boyson, Farragon again, Ego, Matthew with a fat erect $100 donation. I really appreciate it. Magnum Knights as well with what he calls Monopoly money from Canada. Farragon, Ramirez, Socrates, Sean, and Parzival. So that's going to be it for today, guys. I think we're going to wind it down. We're going to go quietly into that good night. So, guys, remember, every Sunday we're going to be having these flash tournaments. It's going to be at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so 12 noon every week, or 12:30. So that's pretty much going to be it. So let's see here. No worries. Yeah, just letting the guys know we're all done. That guy, we'll see. Maybe she'll convince me off stream. Oh man, but as far as the prize pool, guys, so once YouTube sends me the prize, well, lets me know how much the prize pool is after they're cut in the next 2 days, I'll update you guys next week. I'm pretty sure that Gobbo King won like $120, $130 last week, so this one might even be more. I'm not sure. 25%, of course, of the YouTube donations and all that after the cut. So thanks again, guys. Maybe I'll open the next stream with like a Slav squat. I don't know, maybe on the bed behind me, or I'll bring a table in so you guys can see the perfect form with my heels. But other than that, guys, thanks again. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. And we will see you guys next Sunday at 12 noon. And by then, I'll have my MRIs done on my shoulders and everything, so you guys will be able to see. Hey, Soothsayer, you're very welcome, man. I really appreciate you putting on a great show and some amazing games. Those finals were just outstanding. So thanks again, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will see you guys next Sunday. Take care.